It's Memorex. Wait, which one of you is the drummer and which one of you plays bass?
Bass.
I don't know.
Well, I came across a child of God. He was walking along the road, and I asked him, "Where are you going?" So he told me. Said, "I'm going down to Chester's farm, gonna join in a rock and roll band. And I don't know who I am, but life is for learning. We are stardust, we are golden, we are billion-year-old carbon, and we got to get ourselves back to God."
And don't give up your day job.
What do you mean? That was epic.
That was epic, but high notes are definitely not Jamie's forte.
Donny had the audacity to ask me who sang the high-pitched part in the Corn Dog car chase song.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's kind of impressive right there.
Oh, you ain't gonna believe this. Good thing when you were here, you didn't open my freezer because I found a whole box of corn dogs in the freezer. I saw it in there the other day. And I'm going like,
so you were holding out on the goods.
I was holding out, man.
I see how it is.
He cooked me breakfast, though.
Yeah, he did do that. Yeah, he did do that.
Did you eat my leftover pizza?
That did not look. It kind of was looking unholy by morning. It didn't.
Yeah.
If you would have ate that, I think we'd have had to take you out on the farm there and put you down.
Wouldn't have been a good trip.
So the mushrooms were like, yum. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it would have taken out an organ for sure.
Have you seen this is Dead Dodge Garage Live, by the way. That's Donny, and that's Rooster. Yeah.
And that's Jamie. And that's Rooster.
Yeah. The gang's
I don't know
all
who
here.
that guy is.
All the students.
Yeah, I don't know either one of these two. I admit nothing. At least that's what I told the cops.
Crap. I was going to say something else, but it's gone.
Yeah. Squirrel.
Oh, my God.
We all suffer from squirrel here. We're all proud ADD people here. So
I know some of my crowd interchanges with Deboss Garage. I love Deboss Garage. Great Canadian guy. Brilliant. Does all kinds of cool builds, especially the trucks. I love that. But he put out a video today, and he did that in his intro. He was like, "Some people have accused me of having ADHD, and I just don't understand." Is that a squirrel? And he just runs out of frame. I wish I thought.
Yeah, I don't doubt
You
that.
don't say.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, but Jamie and I do that all the time. If we would have managed to get all of the stuff on camera when you were here, it would have been a 3-hour Jamie Rooster's comedy hour because we were just cracking each other up. I mean, when you woke up, I should have had you on video when you woke up because, man, you look like somebody drove over you with a bus.
I felt like someone drove over me with a bus.
My God. You look like you're on a 3-day drunk.
69 Charger. 69 Charger.
68, dude. Come on.
Well, when he walked out to
what year were you driving?
I don't have any in. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't have any 69s in range. I got this guy. That's a good one.
See, I'm actually that guy. I like the one that nobody likes.
The fastback? Oh, I love
Jamie was asking me about, I don't know how we got started on this, but we were talking about old videos that used to be on YouTube. And I stumbled across a video of me doing a pass with my 64 Plymouth that ran 1050s. And I actually have that queued up on the computer if that works. I don't know if people can see that if I was to put the camera over there, but
you sent it to me too, right?
Yeah, it's about
the one you sent me.
Edited down, it's about 40 seconds, to make a 10-second pass, but it's basically rolling up to the light. I got an 025 light, I believe it was, or 026. So I pretty much treated the Dodge Dart big block that was next to me, and then I had my way with him at the end of the track too.
You can't see that as well, but you can see the hit. Let's see. I think I can scroll right to where it starts. Hold on, because you didn't get the burnout in the clip.
No, and I actually had some suspension problems because earlier I had exploded a drive shaft and I broke something in the car. I don't know what I broke. I think it was when the I had to put a plate where the pinion snubber was because it shoved the pinion snubber through the floor.
That's an ongoing problem.
Yeah, so I welded a piece of 316 steel plate in there, and then that cured that problem. And
my demon, he says he used to have a plate in there and it's not there, but he ran the snubber against the floor. For whatever reason, he said that was the best way it launched. No gap, hard against the floor.
Yep. Well, I made the mistake of having, we just raced the following weekend, and I believe it was at Eddiesville in Iowa, and then we went to Cedar Falls this weekend, and I immediately exploded a drive shaft and test and tune, and I had a U-joint there, and I had to put a U-joint in with, no tools, no nothing. I had to pound it in, and it was like, oh man, I was just waiting to wreck one of the roller bearings.
Pulled together. Here,
yeah, so
I got the pass queued up. Here we go. Whoa, oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, it's right there.
He did whip the dart, he said.
Mike.
There goes Cowboy. Nice.
Yeah, well, I still can't figure out where my son got a Southern boy accent for that day, too, and I just don't know what happened with that. I guess it's because I can do a righteous Irishman, too, I mean, we just, this family's just all full of ADD. We don't know whether we're coming or going, but we know we got
Speaking
there.
Of which, I guess I should introduce these people. You probably know them because they've both been on previous lives. Donny, the Big Ranch Tech, master of YouTube Shorts, and Rooster, master of beating darts and drag races and painting boats and things of that nature. And we will be BSing for a little while here. I think probably the first half of the live, and then these guys will screw off, and then we'll actually do question and answer and that kind of stuff.
Well,
or something
people
like
have
that.
Questions while we're doing things, by all means, tell
if you
us
have
to shut
questions
the hell
for
up.
those guys, go ahead and ask them.
And actually, Walter,
and if you have questions for that guy as well.
Yeah, I'm actually Walter. Really, I'm one of those puppets.
I was going to just cue this up. Rooster looks like he's in a straight jacket. Is that a pose you're familiar with?
Actually,
I'm cold.
My arms crossed in disgust. Usually, yes. No, I mean, okay, fine.
Absolute disgust. 45 people with us here. Thanks for joining us. We're just kind of going to be BSing. Are we three amigos or stooges or I don't know what we are, but we're a weird little family-like group brought together by YouTube and Mopars. And
pardon my French, but I said that we were the Section 8 Top Gear, so sorry.
That's a good one.
Okay, I'll own that.
Yeah.
I'll rattle through the first few comments. We haven't gotten very many. Thank you for that. I think people want to just sit back and watch this train wreck. Avon was here before the stream even started, on time, early.
Wow.
How's it going, Avon? And Bell James also and said, hey, y'all, from sunny Okay.
Okay.
Tom said that.
Hey, I'm here today.
Ooh,
I can't do that.
Tom and sister here. Cool.
My sister is not only here, but on time. Ross is fashionably late, which is basically on time around here. And Tom wants everyone to know, I almost had him go film some clips of this, but it's just today's video. Today's video is what went wrong with the 69 Charger on the road trip, right? I don't know if you guys have seen it. It doesn't matter. Well, I know Donny has.
Yeah, a few.
Actual work or something today.
Shut up.
But anyway, yeah, so it's just getting into the engine and figuring out, what happened. No, I saw your comment. You were there. You just commented before we got together, I think, on what had happened there.
So, question: the fuel line split from the fuel pump to the carb?
No. Well, yeah, kind of. Okay, so I changed the filter out on the trip, and the rubber lines on the filter, they didn't look that old. They didn't look dry rotted. They looked fine. They were still squishy, looked fine. A little split on the end, but whatever.
They were fine here at the shop.
Right. So, and they did 1,800 miles. No problem. Now, here's one thing I should have thought about that I didn't, but it all made sense once it finally happened. But basically, we did the head gasket. We figured that out. We detailed, painted everything. It looked beautiful. If you saw the picture or the video, it looked pretty nice when we were done. Not perfect, but pretty nice. And then immediately we test drove it. The needle and seat stuck again. That had happened to me once in Montana, but it happened but it happened to Tom right there. And then it was just puking gas and it was leaking out the throttle shafts. That was bad. So I changed the needle and seat right there. Drove it home, tuned it up, all good. Doing awesome. Okay, and then Tom's going to drive it this weekend. So he goes to move it or something, and he was putting it away in the garage and suddenly smelled gas after he shut it off. That line on the filter on top of the engine had split. It just let go. We had that line off, back on, seemed fine. Again, it's not that old. It's not that bad looking.
I've had enough. Boom.
Dude, the engine with gas. So that's 3 times that car's tried to set itself on fire now.
I believe a lot of cars just really have a possessed nature, and I'm going to tell you right now, after that car came in our shop out here, when it came through the door, the fur in the back of my neck stood up, just like we were rolling Christine in the door. And that car, I'm going to tell you, that car absolutely hates you for taking it from its owner.
It doesn't like me.
It really does.
I don't understand. We had a few great days together. We had good times. I tuned it up. No, it just hated me. And it's all been bad since I tried to leave Butte. I should have just stayed there. It was nice. I should have gotten a wop chop. That's where this all went wrong. So yeah, after that, and that wasn't all that went wrong either, because we had bad threads and a new water pump causing a coolant leak. We had paint on the engine because I went pretty hard touching up the bolts and just getting it all to look nice. Tom had painted the valve covers, Evan painted the intake, like everything looked great. The very last touch-up pass I went to do, just 2 little spots, the paint reacted. It had been fine, and then all of a sudden it reacted and ruined a bunch of brand new engine paint for no reason. That was cool.
Yep, that's called a lift.
So it's Jamie from Washington here. Oh wait, go ahead, Rooster.
Yeah, it wasn't cured, so it created a lift and it got all stupid. Yeah, that's
But I'd already done it. I'd already done several touch-ups that were fine, and then just that very last one. I thought maybe it was, I hadn't mixed the paint well enough or something. It's older paint, so I don't know. I've had it happen before, but that's the same thing.
If you would have fired the motor up and ran it and baked it and then shot it on there, it wouldn't have a problem. It just was in that little window of creating a problem.
Yeah. So anyway, that's fine. Little things. It's all good. I got it tuned. I got it running sweet. And it's almost done smoking. And then
that thing was smoking like, oh my God. When you took off down the road in the test run, that thing was choking out. There was obviously no mosquitoes within about 700 miles of that tailpipe.
It was bad. Yeah, that just happened. I was around Deer Lodge, Montana. In fact, I was talking to Donny on the phone when all this happened.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
I came into a construction zone. I hit the brakes. All of a sudden, the brakes were shuddering. They'd been dragging off and on for some reason. Something else we need to look at. The brake booster's bad. So all of a sudden, the brakes were shuddering, which had never happened before. So that was weird. Then I noticed, there's like a vibration. Then I get out of that construction zone. I go to take off again, and I realize it's smoking. I get off the highway. Then I notice the water pump's going out. It's just like all happened at once. Yeah.
Well,
that's the lesson. Don't leave Butte, Montana.
Well,
Hey, I got a great theory on that.
Do not go to Montana. Bad things happen in Montana. I'm just saying, I'm telling you. I got other friends that they've just weird stuff happened to their semis and everything else. It's just going through Montana. It's just one of them things. I don't know. Must have a,
but it's like, hey, I'm Jamie. I'm from Washington. I'm here to drive you home back there. No, it was okay being started up once every 3 months. And then poof.
Mike kept that car in a bubble most winters. Like his baby.
Point taken.
It didn't want to go away.
You know, there was such a relationship.
Their cars.
Well, it's like watching the movie Christine. I mean, there was such a relationship between him and that car. And then the car was angry with you because you took it away from its owner, you know, and it's like
it doesn't like me at all.
There's some level of possession going on there. So I don't know. Maybe it restored itself too, and Mike didn't tell you about that minor detail.
I don't know. I saw before pictures. It sure turned out nice.
So I have one quick question.
What do you got?
How bad are we behind on comments right now?
This is my last can of the Western Cider Poor Farmer, made in Montana.
That's what I figured.
From the land of many mountains. I saved it for just this occasion. I should have bought a bunch. It's great.
So I was gonna butt in for 2.2 seconds and tell people that, hey, you know, this is why you guys come back. It's because Jamie gives you the 2.2 kind of a shout out saying, "Oh my God, my name's on TV or my phone." And trust me, I'm one of them too. So.
I've
Jamie,
put your
take it away.
TV many times.
These live shows,
and speaking
these
of
live
which,
shows have always been successful.
Yes, he is very successful because of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll actually answer your questions. We've got Miss Junk here from Sparta, Tennessee. How's it going there? And Dan Tupper dropped in. Rich Jordan is liking the opening music. Thank you.
Right.
Oh yeah, I was talking to Dan again earlier. I think he sent me another message right before I came on, but something about 273s and 273 accessories. So yeah,
Rich Jordan.
looking forward to that. Tony Sears is here. Hello again from South Dakota. How's it going, Tony?
What's up, Donny?
Stacy's here, and he's been really looking forward to this live. Hey, Donny. Hey, Rooster.
Man, old Stacy. Heck yeah.
Yep. Avon says, I love the opening music so much. It's a great incentive to be here when the stream starts. Nice.
Absolutely.
I like the beginning and the ending, you know, as far as the music you know, how you blend it in. That's just always been my favorite part. And then you take requests from people, and that's just hilarious because really try. You try not to do it for them, but you also try not to get popped on a copyright. So
well, yeah, there's a good chance we'll get one or two tonight. That's pretty standard.
Probably.
Brent Forte says Rooster's the R. Lee Emery of Mopar, but I don't know who that is.
Lee Emery. That is the guy that was. I think that's the guy that was in.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yellowstone, wasn't it?
Well, also in Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Hold on.
He was the sergeant or the drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's also apparently in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, among other things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I got one of them. Want to see it? The Saws family.
John Donati's here and says, good evening from Chesterfield, Virginia. Right?
Howdy, John.
How's it going, John? Lovejoy says we've got 3/4 of a barbershop quartet. Oh, and Stacy loves Donny's hat.
Oh, thank you.
Scooter,
what about mine? I got a Charger.
Oh, I got Dead Dodge Garage.
Because my boss didn't bring me a DDG hat.
I like it.
What do you want? Scooter's here. And he is currently repairing a 1988 RCA VCR. I'll have to ship you a hat or something. You know I don't have any, right? I just have this one and a beanie.
I know.
They're all made to order, and I'm not rich enough to just order a bunch of them. Oh, I just caught myself in the camera and realized I should mention I shaved right before the Chicago trip, so this is what we've got. And is that 3 weeks?
Yeah, I
now?
didn't know who the hell you were when you got out of the car.
I'm starting to look. I know. I'm starting to look like Wolverine or something. I don't know.
Well, that's a scary thought.
Dan says that's a relic.
Oh
I'm
Lord!
not sure about which one.
That's me. I'm the relic.
Yeah, the drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket. Yep. Section 8 Top Gear. All righty. That's Zartav. He was at my fire last night.
You know what my favorite line in Full Metal Jacket is?
What is it?
When the guy with the gun who went batshit crazy sits there on the toilet and says, "This is mine. There's many like it, but this one is mine." Yeah. And I've played that out on several videos, about like my cornet, because there's
I've done it too. Yeah.
I just go a little, and people get really nervous when I do that. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of my appearance.
Could be related. Bell James says that us youngsters need to put our collective engineering skills together and come up with a Hemi head for LA engines. It's actually easier than you might think because the LA block is based on the A block, the poly block, which is essentially a DeSoto Hemi. So a DeSoto Hemi head would be very, very close to fitting an LA block. I don't know how close. I think there's at least one water port difference, but it's probably possible. I don't know.
You can take a 331 or a 354 head, and they will go on there, but there's a water port problem.
The Chrysler head should be longer. The Chrysler block is longer. It's the DeSoto block that is the same length, the same physical dimensions as the poly, and by extension, the LA. The LA is the same basic dimension as the poly. Of course, there were other poly engines too, but the 318 poly, the one that survived into the 60s, that one is based on the DeSoto Hemi. It's the dimensions of the DeSoto Hemi. So DeSoto Hemi heads, in theory, should be able to be adapted onto the LA.
There's a water port problem there on that.
Yes, there
is.
Head on and drain backs. There might be an oil drain back hole missing. Because I know the 426 has that. I feel like the early Hemi does too. And the poly does. They have a drain hole over here that LA doesn't have. So you'd probably need an external drain back line.
What was the cubic inches on that motor, Jamie?
Which one? The DeSoto?
The DeSoto motor. Was that like a 242 or something?
330, I believe, was the ultimate size, close to the Chrysler 331. I think it's or is it 345? Maybe 345 is the ultimate size, but they started at like 315, which I think is what Bell James is talking about. It's the 315.
When they made the 5.7 Hemi, they took the 5.7 Hemi, and the whole template for that motor came from the 345.
Well, yeah. Well, it's the same. It's the same cubic inch. But I mean, the DNA is there from those original. Basically, the DeSoto Hemi was the very first one to have that bell housing pattern that is still found on the 3rd generation Hemi. They are all the same. The only ones that are different are the B motors. The big Hemi is different.
The other thing that they carried over was that was the very first motor to make 1 horsepower per cubic inch.
The 3. Which one?
The 345 was the first one. Yep, the DeSoto motor was the first one to make 1 horsepower per cubic inch, and so that was why Chrysler decided to take that motor and create the 5.7 Hemi, because it
looks like 290. Yeah, 330 was a DeSoto size, and then they had a 341. That's weird. And then 345 was the ultimate one. That was 57. But the first one was 276. That's interesting. I haven't heard of that one. But
that was basically
that engine is what the A and then the LA engine are based on. So yeah, the some of the architecture of that engine made it into the Viper V10. Because it's based off of a 360, which is based off of a poly, which is based off of a DeSoto Hemi.
Quarter pounder with cheese.
The poly motors were cool because that's like the half a Hemi, the hemispherical. They still have so much. Yeah.
Yep.
And the cool thing about those motors is all you had to do is throw more carburetors at them, and they would just wake right up. I had that 2.4s
cool.
on that. I had put that grain truck 2.4s on that 65 Dodge I had, and that thing, I didn't know nothing about camshafts. I was a 16-year-old kid, and I shoved that intake on there and slathered a whole bunch of gasket maker on the intake because I didn't have no money for gaskets, and bolted the thing on, and man, that car just absolutely got stupid.
Good time. I'm a big fan of the 55 Chrysler 300, which of course is a 331 with dual quads, and they made 300 horsepower, which was amazing for 55, and then stuff got crazy from there, and the horsepower wars were on. But I'm a fan of those early Hemi engines, and it would be fun to make an LA into a Hemi, but also you could just use a DeSoto. And you can actually, I've seen them mounted into like A bodies. They fit. I don't know how they fit, but they do. It's not as hard as you might think.
Pound of butter. Anyways.
Yeah, pound of butter, and you can slide anything in there, right?
Pretty much. Maybe a shoehorn. Edwin Flannery says, "Good evening, gents. Watcher from Canada. What are your thoughts on slant sixes?" I have some thoughts on slant sixes. I don't know about you guys.
I love them.
Jamie loves them, and I think they're the greatest boat anchor in the world.
Oh,
the best noise they make is when you drop them in the dumpster, right?
Oh, it's the way they power, man. They're great.
They go balloop in the lake.
They're great and terrible.
Yes, actually, granted, their carburetors have much to be desired and stuff, so on and so forth.
Well,
the actual power plant itself is really good.
Here's my take on the Hillside Hemi.
That's my face.
Oh, good Lord.
Donny's okay?
Literally, it was the Tripex pod. Carry on.
Anyway, as I was saying, the Hillside Hemi, the good thing about that is it was literally bulletproof. It was the pack horse. It was a grocery getter motor.
There were actually two bullets that could take them down. One is trying to drive them quickly, oil slamming into the number 5 and 6 rods, starving the engine for oil, and then they just kind of destroy themselves. And then 2 is half a can of ether.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll do a number on it. But
I sent a rod through the side of one once. That was cool.
When those cars came out, and I mean, of course, I was around back in the day, and those cars were, they had them in the darts and the dusters, and and they had them and they were just in the grocery getters, in the commuter cars, and they just lived forever. I mean, I remember going to the boneyard next door to the farm here, and which it's all abandoned now, but we used to go over there, and we would put these cars that have some gas in them, and we would put a brick on them and see how long they'd go until they blow up.
I've seen videos of guys doing that in the boneyards, and they'll drain the oil and cooling out and brick the throttle and just let it go. And
Slants
really good at that game. It actually runs better without oil.
I don't think there was any I think there was hardly any coolant in them, but I know they had oil in them, but that Slant 6 that we tried to blow up ran out of gas. Yeah. It just stood there and wound and sounded ill as hell, and then it just we thought it blew up.
A friend of a friend used to drive a truck that had thrown the number 5 or 6 rod, because again, that's usually the failure in them. And the thing is, as great as they are and as legendary as they are, it's not a good design. Tipping it over like that, basically the crank is dipping into the oil already at idle. And then the windage is just insane in that engine. And the harder you drive, all of the oil sloshes back and punches into those rods. So it's always the 5 and 6 rod. And they'll go. And this happens at the same time that there's no oil pressure anymore. Donny, you need to get it under control, man.
Carry on.
So a mutual friend had a pickup truck with a slant that had thrown the number 6 rod and piston. He pulled the rod out of the side of the block. The starter, I think it blew the starter off too. So he pulled the rod off, shoved some rags in the hole, and either push started it all the time or like kind of rigged the starter back in there. I don't remember, but he drove it around like that for some time.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Well, I had a guy come in the shop. Oh my God, this was like 30 years ago. You know, a guy come in the shop and he had a 383 in a, what the hell car was that? I can't remember the car, but I remember the engine. He'd spun number 7 rod, and he drove that thing 20 some miles to my shop and said, I don't know what's wrong with my motor. It's making a ticking noise. I started it up and it was clackety, clackety, clack. And he said, yeah, when you go faster, it gets really loud. And when you let off, it shakes the car. I'm going like, oh my God. Well, I took the motor out and tore it apart, and the crank was completely chowed. And I do not know for the life of me how the rod went from like, you know, that big. The rod cap had stretched and the thing was like this, and there was a crack in the cap. And why
it fell together?
Well, it broke by the bolt. It was broken, and it was still going up and down. And
it was still hanging in there. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, it was just being bulletproof and stupid. So
I think Edwin got a kick out of our answers, so at least there's that. My short answer, Edwin, is I've had tons of them. I think I'm down to just one slant right now that I'm planning to stick a turbo on for science. I've had a lot of good time with slants. The 80s slant is the best. They are excellent. They're really good engines. Despite having lighter cranks and hydraulic cams, they're just sweet running. I love those ones. The best ones I've ever had were 80s engines. The later ones.
Was that the one that you were going to throw the turbo off my Cummins on?
Yeah.
Are you still going to get that project rolling?
Yeah, I still have to do the hot side. It's been a crazy year, man. We got the intake built. I still have to kind of port it a little bit and get that all ready. I've got a fuel injection system for it, and then I have to do the hot side. So I need to go grab a spare manifold and start mocking it up on my spare head and block and just see kind of where everything lines up, because that's a big ass turbo. So I have to cut the heat riser off and the flange off, and then you weld a turbo flange onto it. That's all you do.
Right.
And you got to get the clocking. I do think I have to reclock the turbo, and I'm probably going to run an external wastegate. First off, yours is bad. And second off, I need something that I can adjust. I need like a low boost one that I can then use a restrictor to bring the boost up, basically.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get that thing down around 8 pounds versus 30. Yeah. You know, that was set up. I was putting I was running about 30 pounds of boost out of that on the one time on Babe the Blue Ox.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't fire that thing up and go take it for a romp when you were here, because we
were kind of busy. But
we didn't have no time. Yeah, and then it's funny, after you left, you know, we were talking about that dead accelerator pump, and after you left, I went back in the parts room and was looking for something else, and I looked at the carb kits, and here's a carb kit for that car sitting right there.
Yeah,
of course. But we didn't have any time. No. You know, I mean, and then there's that whole running into the dude with a 68 Charger, which I've never seen that car before, and that thing was amazing.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
I wish he would have popped the hood on that. We'd have all been wiping drool off our chins on that one.
Well, I saw the oil pan underneath it that said Mopar Performance, and I saw some goodies under there. So, yeah,
well, I found I'm sure it's a good one. The road. There's a guy down the road about a mile and a half. Matter of fact, you know, you turn on 10th Street to get over to 14. You know, so that house is right on the corner with an immaculate yard, if you can remember that. Anyway, he has a 69 Coronet A12 car in there that is immaculate with Kragers on it. He won't even let people get within 3 feet of it. He starts freaking the hell out, I guess. And then he lost the ballast. They went on a big cruise when he was over in Wisconsin. He lost his ballast resistor and ended up having to have the thing towed home for a $9 part.
Oh, it's a $9 part now. It used to be a $3 part.
Yeah, well, everything went up. By the way, you were talking about your gas situation out there. Gas here right now is $3.65 a gallon.
Dude, it's under $5 again, so at least there's that. It's fine. Welcome to Washington. Enjoy your stay.
Yeah.
Well, James, yeah, like I was just saying, it's not just the cam that's in the right place. It's almost everything. Almost everything is in the right place. If you want to go with a DeSoto Hat, it can be made to work. I'd like to do that sometime. Oil drain back and whatever the coolant port difference is. I know there's something, but they're close.
What about the push rod angle?
They're the same. No, they're the same. That's why the small block Mopar, the lifter comes out of the push rod comes out of the lifter at an angle already. Now you might have to clearance the block a little bit, just depending on where the exhaust sides end up. Yeah,
what
that
the
might
hell
be
would you do?
challenging.
So
What's that?
here's a real question for you. If you did do that, what would you use for an exhaust manifold? Because
you'd have to just use all the matching DeSoto stuff: DeSoto intake manifold, DeSoto exhaust.
Hell, that depends on where it dumps, because I think they dump like an old small block Chevy in the middle.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. And the thing is, having it there, like I said, it's been done. I've seen it done. So I know it can fit in the A-body somehow. And I think that's what they use. But, yeah. Oh, Ross was saying, yeah, ethanol. And, yeah, that's almost certainly the problem. Those lines were older. They looked good. I inspected them when I picked the car up. The one from the frame to the engine to the fuel pump looks fine. It's in great condition. That one looked okay, but it was a lie. So Tom rightly said after this happened, now I'm questioning every piece of hose in it. And we should, again, I mean, that car was sitting for a long time. It doesn't know what ethanol is. There should
be a short piece of hose that goes from the fuel tank sending you to the fuel line, and I would get rid of that son of a bitch right away.
That one, the frame line, and then the ones around that filter, and that's it. It's there's less than let's say maybe 1.5 feet of rubber in the whole car.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm ethanol to a fuel line.
Pretty much that. Yeah. Don't forget.
Yeah.
You don't have your. You don't have your little
arteries, would you?
Yeah. We won't go there.
Yeah, thank you, very little.
What's the thing that you've been working on, Donny? It's not nearby you, is it? The chunk of plastic that you've been painting on and stuff?
Actually, yes.
You really have to show the engine because that's awesome.
Oh, just for that reason, right?
Well, it's perfect. It's so good.
Of course. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right. So if you have sure. Building a model of your own car.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So even the other end, that was actually painted black on the car.
Yeah. So you painted it black.
So
I was admiring the black bumper in that short. That's really good. Black painted bumper.
But yeah, I do have the engine that I did for it, which is right there. But if you look really close, there's only one carburetor under that.
You had to make that, didn't you?
I did.
Yep.
But it does say 346 pack on it, and it's cool. That's just like false advertisement, and
I love it.
The correct interior for it too. So yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Show and tell.
Yeah. Also,
and can you see that 72 Plymouth Roadrunner right there?
Yeah.
With the same stripes on the hood. I don't know if you can even see that because I don't know how to make my. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, I picked that up off of Evil Bay, and actually have a model of that in there. Oh yeah, and the first thing Jamie landed his eyes on is you see the yellow Charger there.
Yeah.
The small one, the big one, and then the real one is in my garage.
Yep. Got to see that too, which is cool.
Yeah. Well,
dang it, man.
We should have. Oh, Bigfoot.
Yeah.
He is working on some unusual things. Right now, he's actually getting ready to build the blower motor for his 63, and it's going to be epic when he gets that done. And he's got that car. The whole back end of the car is set up so perfectly for drag racing. Mopar Jeff has really been helping him out with the whole design of the rear end and how that's all set up. And they It's the car, and then they put just this brutally beefy tires underneath the back end of it. It's with a blower motor. That thing is going to be just dangerous. It's going to be fun.
Wicked.
And he just put up a video of the carbs he just bought too, and oh my god, yeah, it's going to be fun. The other thing is he just got back from No Name National.
Oh, yeah.
And I really want to go to that, but the rules are you got to have 500 subs.
You got to get to 500
please,
subs.
God, get me some subs. I want to do this once in my life. I want to take something down there, but I have a dilemma, and I want everybody on DDG to chime in on this.
Yeah, yeah.
I was going to build my D100 into a drag truck. It'll run 10 seconds.
And that's the truck that was shown in my road trip video. The one he did a quick little 0 to 100 pull on the road there.
Yeah,
fun
that one.
Truck. Even as it is with the 318, it's pretty fun.
Well, that's pretty built. It's punched 120 over, so it's actually a 338. So it's a 340 for all practical purposes. It's a 4-inch bore 318. But so I'm putting an 800 horse 440 in the truck, and I'm going to redo the whole drive line, so it's all set up with the B body rear end, which is 4 inches narrower. It's the poor man's drag truck. I have all the components to do it. So then I get to talking with a friend of mine. He said, "No, I got something that's better for that." And he said, "I'll make you a hell of a deal." So I said, "What do you got?" He said, "I got a 69 Coronet body." And I'm going like, "What?" And he said, "Well, the front end's shot, but I got a 4-door with a perfect front clip. I'll give you both cars and the title for $2,500. So now all of a sudden my brain just went,
the price is right.
69 Coronet. Wow, drag car. What can I do with that?
Everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a lot more expensive to build because I'll have to back half the car and all that crap. There's going to be a lot of framework versus the truck needs
Truck's
nothing.
a lot easier. So much
easier. But the 69 Coronet, the truck weighs 4,800 pounds. The 69 Coronet weighs 3,800 pounds.
Huh.
So I'm going like,
it's that heavy.
Interesting.
Plus,
it's rather heavy.
Every time I see Dean's 69 Coronet, I'm doing this with the drool. I mean,
yeah. We've
already
agreed you need to buy it. It doesn't matter. You have to buy it. But then it's the question of, do you still do the truck or do you do the Coronet instead?
Well,
personally, I like the idea of easy mode, but the Coronet would be cool.
I know, but I got the 73 Duster to build. I got the 73 Charger build going on. And I got one of those two guys has to go bye-bye. And then I would have to get out to South Dakota before hell breaks loose. I mean, winter. And that's coming fast too. I was telling Donny earlier today that we went from last Tuesday, it was 90 degrees and 70 at night, to this Tuesday is going to be 33 degrees in the morning and I have 46. But it'll be sunny. So
welcome to Minnesota.
You're sunshine. Great.
Yeah, and then pretty soon, more pieces of my 07 Dodge Ram will fall off in my driveway, like in Jamie's video.
And on that terrible disappointment, I'll take a moment to make some announcements. First off, 61 of you out there, thanks for being here. Obviously, this is a little different format than most lives currently. I've got the
my bad, and I'm sorry
here of the Big Wrench Tech, and we've got Rooster down here from Rooster's Restos. As you heard there, he desperately requires 500 subs so he can go to No Name next year. And he has been putting out a lot more videos recently. So if you haven't checked out his channel, I feel like most people that are in our lives probably have. But if you haven't, go check him out and give him a sub.
Yeah.
I'm going to be chatting with these guys. I'm going to be chatting with these guys a little longer. And then I think they're going to go back to their lives or whatever. And we'll do some more question and answer like we normally do. But it's a treat to have them here. So thanks for hanging out and listening to us being silly.
Sorry about your bad luck.
And on that note, Alex says, I just had a Wix filter rubber hose split less than 2 years old. I don't use the little chunks of hose they include with those filters. I throw them.
Oh, God, no.
Never. Don't use them. They're junk. What you need, and this is all I use, it's Gates Barricade fuel hose. You don't have to use the high pressure fuel injection stuff, just the standard Gates Barricade. And it's good for the ethanol, among other things. Tom says,
I got one thing that you should add for people on that is tell them what the metric, because it comes out in a metric size now versus a 5/16 or 3/8. It comes out in a metric size now. So what is that metric equivalent? Do you know?
What, 3/8? That's like 9.5 or something.
Okay.
5/16 5/16 is 8 millimeter. So,
okay.
I haven't seen it labeled in metric yet. Maybe in both, but.
Well, I went to O'Reilly Auto Parts and tried to get some, ethanol safe fuel line for a boat I was building for a guy because I had to redo the whole fuel system from the front to the back.
I'm surprised they had any. That has been a real problem for me around here for a long time. No one had any 5/16, like, period.
Well, they wouldn't sell me a box. They said I had to buy it by the foot. And I said, I never buy by the foot. I want to buy a whole damn box. Well, we don't do it that anymore. We sell it by the foot. I said, fine. Sell me a box by the foot.
How many feet are in the box? Sell me
Yeah, no kidding. And so they didn't really want to do that. And so I thought, okay, I'll just go. I said to the manager, I'll just go to Advance. They'll sell me whatever I need. All of a sudden, I had a box of fuel line. I don't know how that happened, but yeah. Just the minute you threaten to go somewhere else. What is Rocket saying here?
Oh, well, what he said was when that happened, he shut the car off and heard hissing, which was fuel vaporizing off of the heat crossover on the intake. Again.
Well, that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah, no. Like I said, third time it's happened. Yeah. The BBD, I love the BBD. Multiple commenters said you're crazy and it needs to go, and I get that. I love it in theory, but in practice with the worn out throttle shafts, anytime you have like a needle and seat problem, fuel just starts pouring out everywhere, and it's not good. Obviously, a hose blowing, also not good. Oh, but I realized that has to be what was happening to the needle and seat, because it happened twice. It was little bits of that hose getting into it and sticking it open. The filter, I put a brand new Clearview filter on. It was perfect.
Yep.
There was no debris. It looked great. It was chunks of that hose.
Wow.
Well, two-stroke outboards have really huge problems with that hose breakdown. And we just need Rooster to follow Jamie around for advice.
I'm assuming that's so I can get advice.
Yeah.
Rooster's he's got some experiences under his belt with these cars.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Roger. Stacy says Montana, aka Texas of the North. I can see that. Everything is bigger there. The sky is bigger there.
I just thought of something on that last comment, though. It's like, wait a minute. Rooster's kind of like Gandalf, and me and you are like Frodo and Sam.
You're Sam. You have to be Sam.
No kidding. I'm Sam.
It's obvious. It just is. Yeah.
Gandalf.
Gandalf.
I'm thinking we should go a whole different direction with the hobbitses.
We hates it. Nasty hobbitses.
Garden.
Remember this, everybody?
Welcome to DDG. We're now Lord of the Rings DDG edition.
This still exists.
Yeah. I almost brought mine into the house like 2 months ago, and I just continued forgetting, and it's really embarrassing. Brett Forte referred to the area I broke down in as multiple times as the Montana Triangle. I have to agree with that. Oh, I forgot to say some things when I was making announcements, which was, if you would like the stream, but only if you like it, and I might not get to your questions immediately, but I will eventually. So if you have questions, feel free to ask them.
You really should do some more questions here.
Yeah, go for it.
Way behind.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, we'll get down there. Anyway, Rich Jordan says maybe old make fuel line. Well, yeah. Well, no, it's ethanol fuel. Even that, it does eat rubber. There's no question of that. It's not a problem I usually have, but I use that barricade stuff all the time. MTBE, I'm not familiar with. Oh, an old additive. Used to mess up needles, seals, and diaphragms that touched fuel. Interesting and lame. YT Viewer 127 is with us as usual and says, loving the Plymouth content lately. And there's more coming. I was just filming some right before going live. So, yeah.
Yeah. Dead Plymouth Garage.
Dead Plymouth Garage. So, I don't know if you guys noticed. So, I did one. My brother's been on more videos lately. He's going to be in even more coming up. I'm editing one that he actually just made without me. I showed up at the end, but he just recorded a whole video. So that's interesting. I still get to do all the work, edit it and what have you. But anyway, so he's now in the comments as Dead Dodge Brother. So I was like, are you just going to start putting videos up on your channel? And he said, what channel? I said, well, Dead Dodge Brother, or you could do Dead Plymouth Garage. And he said, that would make sense, but it just doesn't have the same ring to it. And he's right. But anyway.
Yeah, they came up with something when you were here too. And you just love the ring to it. Oh, wait a minute. That was when I changed my YouTube deal, and then I actually went and changed the business name as well because Rooster's Restorations was such a fit, and it's got a good ring to it. But Jamie's partly irresponsible for that.
What about Dead Chrysler Corner? I don't know.
That's a good one. Someone else had a great idea for the name of my next channel, my music-based channel, which was Dead Dodge Garage Band.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
I like it.
Worked for the Grateful Dead. So.
It's garage band, so yeah.
Dead Dodge Garage Band. IB Thunder, I believe that is, says, congrats on the trip from Seattle. Thank you. It was pretty awesome, and I almost made it.
So close.
And yet so far away. What's 600 miles among friends?
Exactly.
Throw.
I realized, Florida seems like a really, really far place from where I am. But when I landed in Chicago, I was way closer to your house than I was to mine.
Holy crap. Kind of crazy if you think about it.
Close. You can just cross states in like 2 or 3 hours. That's really
when
weird.
When I go down in January to visit Donny and I think that's going to be, getting in an aircraft and, I'm going to look pretty funny wrapped in 3 parachutes, not that I might
a straight jacket.
Yeah. I'm going to wear this shirt. Oh, there you go. No, that was the straight fit jacket pose. Yeah. They have alcohol on those planes, don't they?
Oh,
sure
yes,
do.
Yes.
Oh, you can order it from your phone. You don't even have to talk to a human.
Wow.
I know how far we've come.
A human came from never mind.
Stop it.
Yeah,
don't even do that.
Sorry.
Oh, boy.
I backed up.
Young man. Stop
Kelly says, glad we made it. Missed you last week. Yeah, I missed you guys last week too. I was on a camping adventure for Mrs. Jamie's birthday. We were down in the Albert Desert.
Me all night.
What's that?
And you were texting me all night.
Well, she wasn't feeling well, so she passed out. I had to do something. I was editing.
I'm bored.
Okay, so we were staying at the Albert Hot Springs in the Albert Desert, right next to the Albert Dry Lake, incidentally, where Jesse Holmes died in 2019, which was crazy. I had no idea. But weirdly, they did have Wi-Fi there. Not good enough to upload videos, unfortunately, but pretty good. Speaking of which, Gary Hergert drove the Green Bean. That was the video I couldn't upload while I was there. To Snohomish to get ethanol-free fuel for winter storage today. It keeps running better and better the more I drive it. Even the
Wow.
cigarette lighter works. Yeah, that car is just amazing.
I have tons to say about that car because that car is so freaking cool. Gary really spanked it out of the park buying that one. But that car with a set of gears would be an absolute track-eating animal. I mean, it really would.
Let's tell the people what you actually said, which was that thing with a set of gears would eat your demon for lunch. For breakfast.
That is a fact. It would.
I don't know.
383s have so much bottom end torque and they wind up so nice.
Yeah. Oh, I love a 383. Don't get me wrong.
What? I think that car is.
What's the power to weight ratio?
Well, the Valiant's slightly lighter. The Valiant should be lighter, but then also big block. So
that's what I'm saying. Power to weight.
That's only 200 pounds.
Heavy motor.
Yeah, the car itself is probably not as much lighter than my Demon as you might think, but it is lighter. But with the big block, I feel like it's not that big a difference. Now, obviously, he's got an automatic transmission, so
shit,
it's going to launch more easily than my car. I am not necessarily the best at that, so he's definitely got me there. It's not really fair, but anyway, I think for horsepower, we're closer than you think. Yeah, the 383 probably wins on torque.
It's the power to weight ratio. It's the power to weight ratio and foot pounds of torque. The 383's got you dead to rights on foot pounds of torque, and that's what moves iron is torque, not horsepower. So,
well, I mean, it depends on where in the rev range you're having your party. I mean,
that's great from Ronnie Socks when I started out racing the Roadrunner. That's what he told me. He said, you know, you need a big block in there to move that B body because you need foot pounds of torque, not horsepower. So here's what you need to do. They gave me this cookie recipe or engine recipe, and I've used it on every freaking motor I've built since then, and I've never lost a single motor, not one. And that's a bunch.
C60s, that's awesome.
I still have it, Kelly.
Back to the 69 Charger, I forgot to mention this earlier. I actually have the Spreadbore 380 or the 340 Spreadbore intake that came off the Roadrunner sitting here. That Tom should have that.
I have one.
You have one like that?
Yeah. It's a 360 manifold, but it's the same. And I'm pretty sure he does too. And we talked about doing a 4-barrel. It would have to be an iron one. It would have to be able to mount the AC. If it can't mount the AC, we're not doing it. So I don't know at this point, you know, if we get it working.
That'll work. And if you put a thermal quad on it, all the throttle linkage stuff would be fine.
Well, yeah. We'd probably run an Edelbrock because that's what we do with a throttle adapter. They're just so much easier. The thermal quad is a nightmare. A nightmare I can't wake up from.
Well, then you could just go with an ABS. You know? Yeah. If you go with an ABS, you got that air door.
ABS 2 is the absolute best. Those things are just amazing. Someone was complaining about Edelbrocks in the comments today and saying they're garbage and you need to use a Carter AFB. And it's like, dude, you do realize they're the same thing, right? They're the same thing. They use the same tune-up parts. They use the same gaskets. They are the same thing. So how can you say one is great and one is garbage?
It's like Holly and the Fomoco. It's the same thing.
But the ABS 2 is a different animal, all for the better. It has a way better booster design. They're just great. They're really, really good. For a street engine, you know, you're not making 500, 600 horsepower. You're trying to drive to the grocery store. They are great carburetors.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine get a hold of me a couple of weeks ago if I wanted to buy a couple of Carter Core carburetors. He goes, I have these two carbs and they're like 525 CFM, and I'm going like, what? And so that didn't ring a bell with me. And then he said I bought them thinking they were 650. And the guy had two of them laying there, and he wanted to get rid of them off Craigslist, and he sold them for $60. Well, the guy, I should have just bought them from him, but then I told him what they came off of. Yeah, I should have shut up and bought them.
Shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, he wanted $40 a piece for them. And I thought, you know, that's not bad for a car. That's really cheap. And then I went and told him that they came off a 426 Hemi. Yeah.
That was
I should have kept my mouth shut. Now he's got them for sale for $1,000.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So
sounds about right.
Stupid guys. Me and my being honest all the time.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm that same guy though. Yeah.
Well, all three of us are.
We can joke about that, but yeah. That would be tough. My sister's upset because we had a fire and didn't tell her. We literally told the entire internet and multiple friends from out of state.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Multiple friends were like, sorry, man, I can't make it. So just saying. Ross says you can bolt 318A heads and intake on an LA block. Yes, you can. They bolt on. But again, I do believe there is one coolant port that is different that you have to plug, I think, on the poly head, the A head. There's one little difference there. Yeah, the 315, 320. No, the Dodge engine is smaller. The Dodge engine is physically smaller than the DeSoto A series, LA series. Now, like I was saying earlier, there are different polys. The Dodge poly, yes. The Dodge Red Ram or Super Red Ram, is that what they call it? Ram and Super Red Ram, I think, are poly and Hemi. It's the same bottom end. Pistons are different, but it's the same block, and all of that just bolts on the top. That's what the poly engine was. The Hemi was the dual rocker engine. They were trying to find a way to save money. They came up with the single rocker poly head to slap on the top. So those early poly engines came in Dodge size, DeSoto size, and Chrysler size. And there are different displacements. As they sized up the Hemi, they sized up some of the polys too. So there are a zillion different poly single rocker engines. So on the Dodge side, yes, the tiny Dodge poly engine is the same as the Dodge Hemi. But the DeSoto engine that lived on as the A and the LA is not the same as the Dodge Hemi. They're bigger.
Can you still get
poly
motor?
One more time.
Can you still get pistons for a poly motor?
Kind of. Some rebuilder parts are out there. Pistons, I'm not so sure on what sizes and what's available. You may have to have them.
TRW, and I don't know what happened to TRW, but they had pistons for them, and then Wisco had pistons for them for a while. And I don't know. I haven't built one of those motors in a decade.
Early Hemi and poly parts are definitely a lot thinner on the vine. I mean, they didn't have the same run. There are still people out there doing cool stuff with them, but parts are definitely harder for that. I can't say what's available or what isn't, but I'm sure pistons will be challenging. Pistons for the 273 are challenging. I think there's one company that's making them, which is kind of a problem. I need a set.
Well, then you got to get over, and then the whole issue was, okay, standard bore, oversized, and you know what they got there. Yeah. I mean, it's hard enough. Honestly, it's hard enough to get pistons for a 440 at one point. You know, you couldn't get standards at all. And
it's hard to get anything now. I mean, that's
20
that's
over.
A whole other thing. But yeah,
you know that. Well, exactly. Why I went all batshit crazy when I went all the Lord of the Rings when I got the cam bearing
for the 426. You know? Yeah. Kelly Smith learned about the slant sixes in Massey Swathers. Is that what that is? I don't know anything about farming.
Okay, Massey Swathers. Okay, there was the slant sixes were used as industrial engines as well, and they put them in like Swathers and things like that, and just some generators. But they use the 413 really for the bigger generators and military generators and stuff like that. So they were a workhorse motor because they just would lug and pull all day long, and they would just run forever. So she's very, and then the other motor that they used was Wisconsin motors, and they use those in swathers and combines and all kinds of crazy different things. The Wisconsin air-cooled motor was the biggest, laborious piece of shit I've ever worked on in my life. Those things were just going to nuclear meltdown, and if they got super hot, they started a fire. With all the dust media from the combine, They would blow up the combines in the field. It would be guys be combining along, and all of a sudden, blow up the combine.
Wow.
I've actually seen a case combine burn down in my field, and today, I sent you guys both pictures of this in a video.
Yeah.
My farmer that comes in custom farms, he came in with this monster case, with this giant grain head. The grain head was pulled by another 1-ton Silverado Duramax, and so this thing is like 40 some feet long.
It's insane.
And then they drive this gigantic case in here, and they just drive up to it, just like they've got some Bobcat bucket they're putting on it, and click, and they're ready to party.
Wow.
And they're already done and out of my field.
Wow.
3 hours. They came
Get
in
off my property.
came in here and blew through 80 acres in 3 hours, and they're gone.
Jesus.
So
Edwin Flannery apparently has a 1982 slant, I'm assuming. Yeah, those are the good ones. The end of the line slant is just great. They're hydraulic cam. Everyone for performance wants the earlier solid, fine. They're a cast crank, which you're never going to break ever in a million years. They're a lighter engine. They're just freer revving. They're quieter. They're smoother. They're just happy. I've earlier ones always just, to me, kind of usually run like broken tractor engines. I don't know why, but the 80s engines are magnificent. They're the best ones. Stephen Fairclaw, I'm assuming, or Faircloth, one of those, says, any thoughts on VGG's Chrysler block and LS heads? Well, that's not what it is. It's a 318 small block with some crazy, boring, stroking component action. It is a regular LA type head, but it has a bar bolted into it to bolt LS rocker arms onto. It's kind of crazy. And then it uses oil through push rods, and I think it's a roller cam. I haven't seen it run yet. It's interesting, and I'm getting ready to do something somewhat similar to that. I'm going to do a Magnum head, which Dan Tupper's helping me out with, a Magnum head on the 273 that I want to build for many RPMs. It's going to be a Magnum head, high compression piston. It's going to have a roller cam conversion, and I'm going to use Chevy roller rockers. It's easy to adapt. Apparently, I've never done it. Apparently, it's easy to adapt the Magnum head, stud mounted like a Chevy, or bolt mounted technically, to a Chevy rocker. And you can get roller rockers for a Chevy all day. They're like free for a Magnum. Like one company makes them, and it's just insanely expensive. So I'm going to go that way.
On that motor, you're going to go 2 4s on that motor, correct?
Yes.
Because I remember I sent you an intake, and you were thinking single 4-barrel, that transtional intake.
That, and I got a dual 4 Edelbrock. I also have a tunnel ram, which I'd really like to run, but I'm going to run the low rise and see what that's like. I might do some AB between the two. But I just, the plan is a ridiculous amount of RPM. It's not going to be, it's probably going to be an absolute worthless engine for producing torque, but it is going to scream. That's kind of
it's an RPM motor for sure. It'll be an RPM motor. You're going to use that deep Barosso pan, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
And a windage tray.
You can use the Milodon pickup with that, by the way. It will work just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and that one you can get. The Moroso one, I don't know. It's kind of sketchy. Pickups are hard to get.
Maybe it is Moroso I have. I have an old deep sump for 360 store-bought deep sump. And the matching pickup. So I wonder if that will fit with this pan. I bet it will. I'll have to go check that.
Well, you're going to run this windage tray too. So all it's got to do is go underneath the windage tray and across and then down. Yep. So it should be fine.
I have a torch and grinder and a welder. I mean, I can do whatever I need to do. But that's my genius plan.
It's funny because I'm actually just kind of scrolled over to VGG, and it actually says that he put they're saying LS heads on there.
Well, it's not.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
LS rocker arms on a plate, but they're not LS heads.
Yeah, and he's calling it LS heads, so I'm just the messenger. Yeah. Looking right at it.
He called it the LS 318.
He did.
LS 318.
Yeah, that's just rude. Don't shimmy me on my Mopars.
It's weird, but it is not an LS head. I'm looking at it right now. It's an aluminum Mopar head. I don't remember what brand it is, but it has LS rockers and they're mounted to a steel like bar thing that's bolted in there. But it's an LA style head too. It's not a Magnum style. If it was, he could have just bolted them on there. Basically. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so, it's interesting. It is it's
interesting.
It's a neat experiment and it makes sense to me. But yeah, I won't be doing it. But again, I am planning to run small block Chevy arms on a Magnum head. Apparently it works pretty easily. Ends up a little tall, but it's supposed to work really well. Timothy Russell said, "What's up, DDG? Love the video on the 69 teardown. Thank you. Everyone else does too, which is really surprising me.
Yeah.
As of now, that video has 6,200 views.
Damn.
For 6.5 hours.
Tuna right there. Holy cow.
For 7 hours. Okay. The next best video of my last 10 was the first Charger video, the road trip one. It's half. It's half as many views as the teardown video. I don't understand. I was editing the teardown video for the last 2 days and thinking, I don't think this is very good. I don't understand, but that is the fastest growing, most viewed video I've made in 2 months and maybe ever. So cool. Okay.
It's cool. We see you drove across country. Let me see what you brought.
Well, yeah,
it's the drama and the failure. I mean, that's a big part of it. And obviously I kind of capitalized on that. The tagline is, "What did you do?" Which is from
Did you break that?
What did you do? What movie is that? Tommy Boy.
I'm really sorry, Dad.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this minor detail. Another video that you did, and I was wondering how well that did, is when you went and did the AAR CUDA video. And that was kind of personal to me because of, let's see. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That is the 73, but
I built. You built, right?
Yeah, I built that for my kid.
Yeah. You've got a video on that on your channel. I watched that some time ago.
Yeah, well, anyway, reason I sold it is because he didn't drive it anymore, and it was the reason he didn't drive it is because it was really law enforcement loved that pretty orange car with that built 383 in it, and I have no idea. I mean, the kid could just drive it around and be decent with it, and they'd still pull him over just because. Sometimes we got pulled over once, and the guy said, "Nice car."
Yeah. 2 things. You asked how well it did. It's got 5,000 views. So that's fine. It's okay. It did okay. It didn't do amazing. And the thing is, just looking at nice cars on my channel, it doesn't really do that well. I'm still going to do it, but I mean, it's an AAR. I only get one chance. But I did a video on a Daytona that just did awful. No one watched it. So I wasn't expecting much out of it. It did okay. It did better than some, but 5,000 views in 2.5 days compared to the Red 71 video. Just driving that car had triple that in the same time. So it's it's good, but far from my best. Very far. We have a paid question that we have to get to.
Yes.
Okay.
It's Blind Bat G34. Thank you very much for sending that over. I promise to not send any of it to these guys and use it to buy drugs and alcohol. Blind Bat wants to know, I have a 65 Dart with the tractor engine, the Slant 6, A833 and 323 gears. What's the best way to quiet it down at 70? A833 OD, 273 gears, or something else? Either of those two would be a good way to go. The gear chunk's easier to change. To do the OD, you need a different bell housing, which I happen to have, and obviously a whole transmission. The thing about the overdrive is there's room between every gear in the overdrive for another gear. The gear ratios are just terrible. They're terrible for performance. But if it's just a daily driver, it's okay. And you can get really good mileage, and the cruisability is much, much better. I'd want to keep the 323 gears for better takeoff and go to the overdrive. But a rear gear chunk is way easier to change. you're also going to lose a good bit of takeoff when you do that. So yeah. And as far as the difference between those two, just using the overdrive gear or a 273 or 276, isn't it? I don't know which one gives you the better gearing advantage. I'd probably do the OD if you have access to those parts. You know, there are some different things. The bell housing hole is much larger, so either you change the IBR. There are things you have to do.
What's the other color gear? 290 something, 294, 293?
294 isn't a big difference from 323, though. I mean, you're just not going to get a lot out of that change.
True story.
276, you will, but
that I know for a short track reference. Yes, that is true.
Yeah. Okay,
when I was doing short track racing, yeah.
The difference between those two is it's not enough to pay for the gear oil you'll have to replace when you change the gear. So I've used 2.9s; they're fine, you know, if you have one. But yeah, it's just not a big enough difference. So yeah, I'd go for a bigger change. Overdrive's great if that is an option. If you can source the pieces, you know, go for it. But yeah. So there you go. Hope that helps. I feel like I should say it's 7:15. So I don't know what you guys want to do with your lives, but there are plenty more questions and comments and such.
And I did have one little request from Functional Histories. He says, "Wow, I am really down on the list." I'm like, "We're catching up as fast as possible."
Where are you on the list? Yeah. I was going to mention Functional Histories.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he just rolled in 7 minutes ago and said, "Wow, better late than never." Yeah, I know that Big Wrench Tech guy. Ooh.
Sorry about the bad luck.
Which one looks like a build for Functional Histories? That CUDA? It's a car he doesn't have anymore. If you want to do a car for Rooster, you know, it's got to be something that's in the fleet.
Probably the Roadrunner?
Yeah, I would think the Roadrunner would be
Roadrunner.
Yeah, or maybe the Charger. He's already got a The thing is, he kind of already has multiple little Chargers, as he said, so that's too easy.
Well, cuckapoo. Edwin
Flannery also said, "Can't wait for the next video." Thank you very much, and I appreciate you watching and joining us here. He also said $2 a liter in BC. I don't know what a liter is, so I have no way of. I don't know how to convert that.
We're in America and we're bad at math.
Welcome to it. HF2 said, "What up, DDG and crew? Awesome vids this week. Thank you. Very proud of them. I thought they were pretty good. And again, the funny thing is, I kind of thought the teardown video on the 69. I knew the people would be interested, but I honestly didn't think it was that good a video. Just we were in a hurry. We didn't get a lot of footage. Like I was surprised it did so well. So anyway, that's cool, and that just again goes to show what Tom and I were talking about a few weeks ago here, which is you just never know. You don't know what's going to do well. You can have an idea, but you just never really know. And HCF2 has a name for the 69, the purple PETA oil eater. Yeah.
The purple PETA eater.
That doesn't even constitute purple. That car just doesn't. If that was a plum crazy purple Charger, that thing would just be badass. But I mean, that color just does not do it for me at all.
I actually like it.
I love it. I really like it. I thought it was great.
It's like the 70s color mauve. You know, it's just like apui.
Yeah. No, I mean, it doesn't. It's subtle. That's the thing. It's subtle, and I like that in a car. But also, I have to say, I really liked it. And then I put my car next to it and looked at both of them and went, nah, I like the red. Mine's still supposed to be a little darker red, and I hope to do that someday. But yeah.
Just because you don't like it, Jeremy Clarkson, doesn't mean we can't.
Let people enjoy things.
That's a joke, by the way.
No, I almost did the Jeremy Clarkson thing with the two cars next to each other because so many people told me to get the 69. This is brilliant.
But
I like this.
But I like this.
I like this. So, yeah.
And then it's James May. Well, I believe that's just pure rubbish. So.
Pretty much.
Wow. That's an
I know which one of us is which. I have to be Jeremy because I'm the loudest one. I think you have to be
Captain Slow.
You have to be Captain Slow. And
James
Rooster,
May.
I learned when I met Rooster in person that he's not the tallest of individuals, so I think he has to be Hammett.
Yes. most like. And then, unfortunately, Rooster has to actually watch an episode to understand what we're talking about.
Now
Precisely,
personality-wise,
because I have no idea.
Personality-wise, we could swap pretty easily because I don't think that would be a problem. I might sound more like Hammond, really.
James is like the kid that I never had. I mean, and you're 2 years away from my son's age, and it's like you're just like older brother. I mean, I don't know. You and I just clicked from the day we met each other, and it just happened.
And I said that too. We've talked on the phone a lot.
Yeah.
But meeting you in person wasn't like, who is this strange guy? It was like, yeah, he's exactly who I thought he was.
Walked in. Yep. Yeah, you walked in the house like heading for the bunkhouse, and I said, "Well, there's your room. Okay, bye. Good night."
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
it wasn't strange or surprising. It was like, yep. All right.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Wow. I'm going to put a sign up over my spare room. It's Jamie's room. Another thing I'm going to throw out there at you, I was kind of keeping it for a surprise. And this is as good a time as any because Donny already knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever I build for cars, for the drag strip, I'm going to fly you out here. I am going to fly you out here next summer because we're putting together a Duffers League between Mopar Jeff, another gentleman here that runs Pontiac, if you can get that bucket of bolts running, and Jack Pine Savage is going to be there, and you're going to be driving either the truck down the drag strip
or
Tri-State down in Iowa at Tri-State Dragways is where we're all going to go, and I'm going to haul the blown cornet down there, and we're all going to wreck shit. So you're going to take one of the trucks and trailers here. I'm going to take the other truck and trailer, and we're going to haul shit down to Iowa and break stuff.
I'm happy to break some of your stuff. That sounds awesome.
I am not going to. I feel obligated to fix it if I do. By the way, functional history says that he believes he should be Richard Hammond.
Well, all right.
Fair enough. Whatever.
James May is a hippie.
Fair enough.
What are you talking about, hippie? I ain't got no long hair or nothing.
I wasn't looking at you. I cut mine off.
And I'm just slow, so it's perfect for me.
Dodge Garage Incorporated. There's so many comments now. It was really slow for a while. I think people just wanted to watch the train wreck, but there are a good few comments. Damn it, I just had something I was going to say. Have your people call my people, Rooster. I'd be happy to be there. I mean,
it's going to be a June-ish thing.
Okay. My birthday is June-ish. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is Donny needs to fly out to, just to be there. Even
True story.
Yep. And he happens to have a pilot's license and knows where there's an airport he can steal a plane from.
Well, I mean,
stealing.
Don't like the whole theft by bird thing, so
borrowing with every intention of bringing it back.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I don't need to talk to the FAA at all.
Oh man.
No, maybe I can have my buddy with his MiG-21 just drop me off.
Oh boy.
You need a little longer airstrip.
Gas went down to $1.39 per liter, which is 455 of those in one of our gallons, so it's $6.32 a gallon.
Oh,
diesel. Daily driving a diesel truck last year when I started at Rocket. That sucked. It was right around there.
We cry here when it's $3.20 a gallon.
Screw you. Dude, Washington,
are you kidding?
Washington is taxes.
$3.20 a gallon, man.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm moving to Canada.
Yeah. Nope. No, don't, because accounting for, the liter, that's for a liter. So for a gallon, it's insane. And your dollar might go a little further with the conversion rate, but I don't know.
It's still
wait. So that's $6.32 a gallon, but that's probably Canadian money. Okay. That's probably Canadian money. I wasn't thinking.
Okay, so our dollar is
actually still just over 5 or something. Yeah, pesticides. That's South California fuel prices. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's still crappy, dude. I'll just go to Mexico because it'll be cheap to live down there.
Well, yeah, for sure. Actually, for sure.
Just bring a lot of guns.
No matter where you go now, it's going to be crappy. I just hate to tell you.
Bad. Oh, Timothy Russell says duct tape drags were also awesome last weekend. 50% Mopars or more. Nice. I wish I could have gone to that too.
Cool.
Someday I want to get there really bad. It's cool. I'm happy to break your stuff, if you're offering, but I want to go to these events with my car. Like, even if it doesn't do well, I just feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. And my hope is that, my planned big drag car build for the channel has always been the garbage can CUDA. So I'm hoping that sometime in the near future, that will become a thing, So then I have options. I can take the Demon or I can take the CUDA, which is kind of more dedicated to this. I don't care what happens to that car, essentially. We can blow up all the we want.
The G100 is going to run 1050s, and if I if I switch and go to the same motor and driveline and use and this is just with the 800 horse motor. That's not with the the NOS wet NOS injected 2.4 intake on the shelf. I mean, if I don't, that's 1300 horse. So that's that's Plan B. If I put it in the truck, it's going to be 1050s right in that neck of the woods. If I put it in the Coronet, it's going to be 10 flat. So that's what you're going to have for a vehicle to go play with. And I'm serious. You're not going to break this thing because I've tried. Trust me.
No, but I've never done anything like that. So.
Challenge accepted, sir.
Yeah.
I pushed that Challenger funny car of my mom's at 200 miles an hour with that 440. So I don't think you're going to hurt it.
Wow.
It's pretty bulletproof.
Kelly Smith also said that was for cheap, watery 87 octane. Yeah. Wow. Tulsa said Coronet. Oh, Coronet. Yeah. Well, that was the first answer I saw between the two, the truck or Coronet. Tulsa said Coronet. So
okay.
That's where we're at so far. Muscle Car
we
Mike
have
says,
one for the Coronet. The truck has got.
They aren't making any more Coronets, and we already know that he needs to buy it. That's not the question. The question is just what happens with it. So, and 8 millimeter that's a typo, but 8 millimeter is 5/16. Yes, I did finally get around to saying that. They're essentially the same, and I know that from wrench sizes. Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? Hi. Oh, you just want to hide back there?
Hi.
She's also afraid of strangers.
Grandpa Rooster. Oh, now she's really going to get shy.
He's one of your subscribers. You've talked to him before, kind of.
I'm one of your biggest fans. Come on now. I'm Grandpa Rooster.
She's just a creepy little shadow right now. That's fine. Timothy Russell found a clean 85 W150 in Arizona. Driving back next week to pick it up. Nice. What are some things to replace before the 500-mile drive? Every single piece of rubber. You need to check everything, especially if it's been baking out there. Look at belts, especially for cracks. Fuel hoses, like we were just talking about. Fuel filter. Make sure it's in one place. Make sure the tires are less than a decade old. Make sure the brake hoses look okay. Make sure no fluids are pouring out the bottom. As long as the oil looks kind of okay, it's fine. If it looks like ink, maybe change the oil.
So in short answer, it would be, what is there to replace? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And Kelly Smith had an answer there. Yep. Belts, always check everything that's rubber. You need to check everything that's rubber. My sister said that's a perfect band name. Yeah, it's Dead Dodge Garage Inc. Poverty Plymouth Garage. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Good one.
That's got a good ring to it.
I'm going to give him that one. And the project, I've mentioned this a few times. I showed it on video once quickly. The project, his big project for the last couple of years has been all the sheet metal on a 68 Roadrunner. And that would be a perfect one for Poverty Plymouth Garage because he's doing it in our mom's garage, which is like, dude, he's got like 2 feet to walk around the car. It's perfect. It's amazing.
Oh, I didn't get to do the video, by the way. I didn't get to do the video of Jeff's 68 Charger, the 383 numbers matching car. I didn't get to do the video on that, and it's really a bummer too because when he first bought that car, well, the whole story behind the car is silly as hell. He went to this farm place and did a job there, put some windows on their house, and there was a 68 Charger in the shed, like with a bucket of dust and some hay on it and everything else. It was the barn find, period. No vinyl top on it, you know. And you could see when they brought it outside, it was like going to a disco. The sunlight coming through the roof. Anyway, so he even had a hell of a time washing it because, of course, you got the whole interior wet.
Yeah.
And but the guy didn't want the car, but he really needed an enclosed trailer, and Jeff happened to have an extra enclosed trailer from the business. So he gave the business $3,000 for the enclosed trailer, and he traded it even up for the numbers matching 68 Charger 10 years ago.
Wow.
You told me that.
That is the absolute craziest thing. And I'm going to do a video on it, and it's going to be on my channel at some point. Was going to do it this weekend and start doing some stuff regarding that, but Jeff ended up got to go see my daughter and grandkids, so I get it.
I highly recommend Charger videos. Any Charger videos. People really like them for some reason.
A buddy of mine just chimed in with a name called Shit Kicking Customs. I'm like, good Lord.
My brother does not swear.
Exactly. So I'm like, that's not going to work. And I even told him that. I'm like, that's not going to work, man.
We once named a band.
I know Colin.
Oh, it's not hung up. It was hung up at my old studio. We had a
you told me how to change the name.
Yeah, it was Funkle, Drew, and the Ass Hat Brigade, and we had to change it to the Donkey Sombrero Brigade because my brother knew the name of the band. Oh,
yeah,
this is
what happened?
Oh my God, what happened?
He went sideways.
Why did you go sideways? Now he froze. That's really creepy.
Yeah, well,
what happened?
I know my dog just puked in the living room. Oh my God. And he didn't even see that. What the hell?
Frozen just like that forever.
Seriously, he is.
Yeah.
He is absolutely cooked right there.
Something bad happened. All right, I'm taking Donny out. If he starts moving again, maybe he'll come back. But it is also well past the time you guys were going to check out.
Yeah, I got to get going too. I just
you want to go ahead and do that?
Really compliment you on all the hard work and all the new videos, and you're doing a great job. I mean, all your viewers, and I'm sure all the comments down there that you haven't got to yet, you know, they're all, you know, everybody really loves the videos you're putting out, and I'm 100% behind it. And I love the fact that I get to be a part of some of this and help you with some stuff. And I mean, it's been just a hoot. When it's going to be, when I have you come out for drag weekend, probably gonna have you be out here for like 4 days, so you got a chance to breathe and actually sleep at night.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
We're going all Shrek because we're having waffles. And
can't wait.
Yep. So Donkey here is going to be making waffles.
Nice.
But yeah, no, and I mean a little more time to play guitar and fuck around, and
it'd be cool to actually have some time. Yeah, it was, it was awesome getting to hang out there a bit and see the sights, and I really appreciated the spot and the bed and breakfast treatment, but I just didn't have the time, and it would be really cool to have that.
And you missed that high quality 79 Dodge plow truck with 51,000 original miles. Yeah, you missed out on doing a little bit of video on that, because that's a high quality piece of shit if there ever was one.
Well, there's always next time. I mean, again, and there's an unending list of things to see at your place. So yeah, I'll be happy to get back there.
I probably would drag you down the road to check out that 69 A12 Coronet, because those are pretty damn rare, and that car is in that odd color of green metallic. And it just looks spanking when it goes by here. And he's got some stupid gears in that thing too, because he goes by here maybe at 50, 55 miles an hour, and that big block is just winding. And but it just sounds like it's party all the time. I mean, the car is party all the time. And then the guy across the road, my buddy from high school, Butch, he's got a 55 Chevy. They sort of full tube chassis underneath that. That's a 4-speed car, and it's a cool hot rod, blue and white, which Donny and I were talking about what his dad's going to do with the blue and white 55, and I told him, I said, make it a 2-door. And you can take a 55 4-door and a 55 2-door are the same opening. Yep. You just get rid of the doors, move the posts, and you're golden.
Same as the Valiant. You can do it with those too. DD's Speed Shop has done many of those Chevys. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just those guys do amazing work.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I do need to hop along here, and I need to get going. So
Donny's phone died. I guess he's going to switch to his iPad and pop back in. So I guess we'll trade you for him in a minute here. But I want to thank you for being here, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon. And I definitely can't wait to come out and break some of your stuff.
Well, we need to figure out what we're doing. I mean, like you said, but that's 2 trips out to South Dakota to pick this stuff up, and I got to allocate funding for it. And just there's not the time of year I'm exactly rich.
I like the truck idea. I'm just saying, I think you need that car for your own personal reasons, but the truck, I'm all on board with that.
Yeah, but the car would still make a really cool street car. But my God, I've got the 2 Chargers, the Roadrunner, and the blown Coronet.
Yeah.
And my blown 426 Hemi is a money pit. I mean, I got to go out and shell out for Molnar rods and either diamond or KB pistons.
Yeah,
and
they're
so
not cheap, are they?
Well, no, they're not on the giveaway list.
No.
And I don't think there's a GoFundMe page for building a Hemi, but I'm willing to go for it anyway. I mean,
just send out the collection plate. Yeah. All right. I got 20 minutes left. I got to hammer through comments. You get off to bed? I don't know. Whatever you got to do.
No, I got to make some food. I'm hungry.
Yeah, you do that.
I just came in from the field to come in here. I was in the field because we were picking beans today.
Yeah.
So I was out there with all that fun shit, and I'm ready to go have feeding time.
Will you get on it?
Well, the 2 dogs are looking at me like, you're either going to feed us or we're going to eat you.
They're going to eat you. All right.
All right.
Well, Restos, everybody. Again, if you haven't checked out his channel, please do that. And he will naturally be back with us in the comments next week, I'm sure.
Yep. Cheap plug here. I am trying to make it to No Name Nationals, but I got to have 500 subscribers, and I'd love to have a whole bunch of Mopar people in there because
that's all you're going to get around here, man.
Well, exactly. And I have a few subscribers from your channel that have come over and migrated over to mine, but now is going to be a big push, and Dean is going to help me out, and Mark is going to help me out. There's a bunch of guys that are just going to get together, and Edwin Garage, man, that guy is just awesome. Hopefully he's in here tonight.
I haven't seen him yet tonight. He is usually lurking.
Definitely wanted to do a shout out.
I don't know.
Because he said that they were going to try to get me up to the 500 subscribers thing, and so I could go down.
I'm sure he'll help you out. And
well, yeah, I've been doing some lives with him too.
Part.
Yeah, but
all right, okay, I'm hitting the button. Go eat dinner.
Gotta go. Take care, everybody.
All right, see ya. Roosters Restos, everybody. And I think Donnie's back in the green room. His wife told me that his phone died and he switched to an iPad. I don't have an iPad. What the hell? Donnie, hello. What did you do?
I did exactly that. My phone did die, and now I'm back with an iPad. This is the better one of the 2, of the 3 altogether. Don't ask me why.
Well, welcome back. But 2 things. First, I think it's way past your bedtime. And 2, I got to run through comments. So
exactly.
You sit there and make funny faces or whatever. But
I can. I just wanted to say thank you for having me on tonight for sure.
Course.
And, I am actually going to just sit back, relax, and watch the show. And then, yeah.
You remember the first time you were on?
I do.
You said more this time.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm shutting up and letting you go through the comments now.
Appreciate it. And thanks to the 64 of you that are still hanging out with us. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Really appreciate you guys being here. Super cool. Functional History says it's not even 11 yet. No, it's 20 minutes till my normal shutdown time. So, but I do have a good few comments here. And as you guys know, I want to get to all of them. So
run.
Let's see if we can do that. And then we probably have to play a closing song. YT Viewer 127 says, followed a 68 Charger RT home from a small Iowa town today after our football team got spanked. Well, all right. It was a wonderful reminder that beauty still exists in the world. I mentioned this in today's video, but this has happened to me twice now. I was in my 68 Charger and another 68 Charger was going the other way. And that was just like amazing. I get all excited. Giddy is a schoolgirl. He didn't even see me. But any day you see a Charger driving around, that's a good day. And many days it's me. Joel Shooter says, how's your day going? I was just thinking, I have a Holley single barrel 7031. What is that? If you want it, it's yours. Don't do that. Stop doing that.
As long as it's not the 1920.
Yeah, that one's a horrible piece of garbage.
Yes, it is.
This is the worst carburetor ever made. I believe I've gone on record as having said.
Correct.
7031.
Give it to Uncle Tony and I'll throw it.
Oh, I've thrown many of them. 7031. That is an updated 1920. No, I don't want it.
No.
It's the same design. It's just a newer number for it. No, I'm good on that, Joel. It's an updated 1920, and I can't have that in my house. I just can't. Guts and Glory 1 dropped in with us and says, good evening, more men. Good evening, Guts and Glory. How you doing?
How's it going?
Tarmac 800 dropped in as well and said, Jamie, hi. How's it going?
Word.
And has anyone played with the new Edelbrock VRS 4150 yet? I haven't. I have not.
Sounds juicy.
Dude, have you seen them? It's Edelbrock's version of a Holley, basically. They're super tunable. They're supposed to be really good.
I heard about them. I have not seen them yet.
I haven't. That's too new and expensive for me. So, yeah, I haven't had my dirty hands on it just yet. But hopefully someday. Yeah. IB Thunder says, buy any 525 CFMs for $40 that you can. Okay. Yeah, I buy any smaller 4 barrels at all, period.
Oh, yeah.
Little Hollies for tunnel ram based purposes, that sort of thing. So yeah. Dan says you should share images of that memorial near Alfred Dry Lake. I did. I shared pictures of it on my Instagram. My daughter stole my phone, so I can't really share them right now. It's a neat memorial. It's really cool. I couldn't find any pictures of it online, but I don't know. It's an interesting thing, and it really is the middle of nowhere. You have to know it's there.
That's the one you sent me. I recall.
Yeah, I sent you the pictures. Yeah,
that was that is a very beautiful memorial.
No, I did, Dan. Didn't I share some in a community post? I think I shared some in a community post on my on YouTube. So if you go to my channel, let me just make sure because I don't want to be a liar.
I can pull it up right now.
So if you go to my channel, I always do notifications when I'm going to be going live. So that's usually all my posts are. No,
Alexa,
I guess I didn't. No, I didn't post it on the channel. Okay, I'll try and remember to share them in a community post because that would be it's a cool thing.
They are on his Instagram though. So
they are on my Instagram.
So check that out.
My Instagram and my Facebook are kind of picking up a little bit too. The Facebook especially has always been a ghost town. If you're not following me on all the other social medias, make sure to follow me at Ted Dodge Garage or whatever. But I post on Instagram not every day, but most days, and most of the things I'm working on. So you can sometimes see spoilers for upcoming videos. In fact, often get spoilers like that. Rocky Tom was getting awful feedback from somebody. That's weird because I wasn't. So it might have been from me. Hopefully the audio is okay out there. It would be really unideal if it wasn't this whole time.
He may be referring to me telling him to speak the hell up.
Oh, nice. Bell James. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time in my life reading up on this stuff. And for whatever reason, the history of the engine families is one of the things that interests me the most. I don't know why. My video I did on the 273 was filled with a lot of that history going back to the Hemi and the Poly and then the introduction of the LA with the 273. And people really seem to like it, which is cool. Eventually, I'll do a podcast episode on Chrysler V8 history because it really, really is interesting to me. And it's fun to me to be able to see those little pieces, the things that didn't change for decades. I just love that.
We're still waiting on a B-Body podcast, dang it.
So I am back in the studio now.
I see.
So I've got a microphone and I got everything I need to record a podcast right here. What I don't have is time. So
true.
I will get to it eventually. The crappy weather's coming. I'm going to be inside a lot more. So yeah, Edwin Flannery. That is a bad typo, but it says lean, delete, lean, burn, delete. Carb sucks. Needs something. Yeah. A Super 6 would be great if you could find an intake, but the Holley 1945 is the mid 70s carburetor that was used before lean burn. So get a standard Slant 6 electronic distributor and box, or do a Pertronix. You can do points if you want. But I'd do something like a Pertronix. It's so easy. And there you go.
HEI.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
I'm fired, I know.
We kind of already did this. No, I did an HEI video. It's fine, but did they make an HEI drop-in for a Slant 6? I don't know if they could.
No, it's too daggum big.
There's no room. Yeah. I'm surprised it fits on the Ford inline engine.
It's too big. Well, on the Ford 200s and 300s, they're just kind of teetered a little bit, so it's away from the block. It's not really truly.
The Slant 6, the factory cap is like that far. So
yeah, it ain't gonna work.
Not gonna work. Dan Tupper did the 1.6 Chevy roller rockers on a Magnum. Uses the same rocker studs and guide plates as an Olds 455. Nice, cool. Okay, good to know because I'm gonna have to buy some of that. And I think we did this too.
Hey,
as the bar with Chevy rockers has been used on 300 to 340 Buicks also. Interesting. Yes, Gary Herger says failure equals views. And yeah, I was going to mention that earlier. That is the one thing that the Charger triage diagnosis video has. It's a good bit of failure. There's actually a lot of failure in that video. And it's amazing because the videos that have the failure, it's these longer videos where the failure is toward the end. So people have to stick around to find it, but it works.
Surprise!
It goes badly. The people love it, Mr. PF Flyer said, I thought the Plymouth AAR would bring big views. Yeah, and that's the thing, and I did kind of go into that a little bit, but it's a nice car. It's an expensive car. It's not an everyman car. It's not, and I think that's a big part of it. It's not something where the average person that watches this channel goes, I could have that. That is within my reach. Things like the Daytonas and the Hemi cars, it's just like that. That's my take on it anyway. I think that's why they don't do well on the channel, because it's just like
they're almost unobtainium.
They're unobtainium. They're not real. They don't exist in their universe. They don't exist in my universe, except that I see them at Rocket. I mean, I've never.
You can pick one up all day long for $120,000. Yeah,
I could have had that AAR, man. It was only 100 and over 100, north of 100.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful car, obviously. I mean, it was cool. I really liked it. But I've never gone, I need that. I have thought, I'm going to build a Superbird clone out of a piece of garbage. That's what I'm going to do. I thought that would be fun. I want a 426 Hemi car someday. I would prefer a clone, and I would prefer a 66 or 7 Coronet or Charger, I think. Because they're the unsung hero Hemi car. So, yeah.
The early model.
Oh, and Blind Bat did say, thanks, guys, for that answer. Awesome. Hopefully it does help. Oh, yeah. The AAR. Well, it's not a channel car. I just did a quick video on it. It was at Rocket for, I think, 5 or 6 days. Maybe it was a week and a half, actually, because, it got there right before the road trip. I filmed that video quick the last day I worked before flying to Chicago. And that's why it was so short.
I'm thinking a good channel car would have been the Power Wagon. I mean, that's never going anywhere.
It's already on the list. It's literally still listed for sale, but no one's serious about it ever. I've had trade offers. I've had a guy offer 10 and I was like this close. Well, he offered 9 and I was like, man, I guess I could do 10. And I was this close to taking it. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. It's just not. Nah. It's worth more
Daily
than
Driver, Power Wagon,
it's
Daily Driver.
Drivable. I'm driving it all the time. It's my favorite thing to drive.
Which one's that?
The Power Wagon.
Oh yeah.
The 48. I'm driving it all the time now. So it's like, no, I'm not selling that for 10 grand. I love that thing. It's my logo. It's one of my favorite things in the fleet. And now that I kind of know how to drive it, it's so much better.
Less anus. Yeah. Got it.
Functional Histories and I talked about doing the Power Wagon. So, there were other things discussed. So we'll see. I think it would be really cool. But the other thing is, it hasn't reached its final form yet. I still have to do the fenders. I still have to do the steps. And I still, there might be other things I change. I might paint the bed to match. I'd really like to do that. But then I have to do the faux patina thing. And I'm not excited about that either. So, yeah. But also, I don't, do I paint the truck and make it nice? Like, a tree has fallen on the cab. It's bent. And the passenger side drip rail is just cut off. And it's not there. Like,
it's such a double-edged sword. I get it.
Right. I don't want to make it. I want to use it. It would be cool if it looked nicer, but I also like the ratty look and, but I don't have a matching bed. So it's just constant struggle. Like, I don't even mind it being white, but I feel like red to match would be good. But then if the bed is nice. So that's where the faux patina thing comes in. And again, I'm not excited about it, but I just feel like it might be the most right thing. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, set in stew,
Yeah. And the thing is, like, the other problem would be if I made that truck nice. Do you know how much nice Power Wagons are worth?
Yeah, the Goonie.
I can't sell it for the 12 grand I listed it for right now. I think the prices are probably starting to soften, but they've been going on Bring a Trailer for 80 to 100,000. And
which is ridiculous.
It's stupid.
Yeah,
it's insane. It makes no sense. Now, and mine has the wrong bed. Fine. And it's far from a nice truck, but it could be a nice truck pretty easily. It needs a whole interior and body and paint. I mean, it needs cleaned up, but it has an original numbers matching, as far as I know, engine. It runs and drives with original drivetrain. It's just like, you can't just find that. So, but there are going to be a good few variations from stock too. So it'll never be worth that, but it would be worth a hell of a lot more. So I just can't do that.
True.
Temptation would happen.
Correct.
Anyway, hopefully a tiny My Power Wagon happens someday. And I don't think I've been meaning to delete the ad because I don't think it's going anywhere. DJ Katiz wants to know, was curious, wondering what would I need to swap a 318 into a 1970 Dodge Dart with a 225 slant 6?
K-member?
You need
K-member?
This box from Schumacher Creative Services.
Okay, never mind then.
What's that?
I said perhaps a K-member.
Well, K-member works, but in your case, no, same with yours. Yeah. No, the only one that you really have to change K-member is slant 6 B body, because there aren't any conversion mounts. They're so rare. There are no mounts that I know of. But yeah, no, Schumacher Creative Services make the mounts you need. They make headers too, but they're really expensive. Basically just the conversion mounts, and all the other V8 parts are factory. You need a different transmission. If you stick with the 904, your drive shaft still fits. You need exhaust, et cetera, accessories that fit.
And the headers are a bitch. So yeah,
spend $800 on headers, or you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah,
they're just glorified skid plates. Like, they just suck. I do not recommend getting the Summit Special headers. I've done the math on that one. Just saying, don't do it. $800 for headers, or get A-body exhaust manifolds. If you're just doing a 318 for a fun driver, those manifolds will do just fine.
Absolutely.
So, what, are you tired there, Donny? Is it like an hour after your bedtime or 2 hours?
Man, I don't sleep. Carry on.
Just refill your coffee. Functional History says there are Mopars flying everywhere lately. I really liked, allegedly, wait, that hasn't gone live yet. Or has it? Yeah, the one on the blue, who's ever on the retractor. Yeah, when you mentioned us, Donnie and I, you were like, it seems like we got a lot of Mopars lately.
Jezebel, yeah.
Jezebel, yeah.
From the Core Dog car chase to false advertisement.
Dodge Garage to false advertisement from Big Ranch Tech.
And here we are.
Mopar guys. Richard Stanberry says, why were the 318 polyhead engines phased out? Ooh, I have the perfect answer for this, and you're going to like it. Some reliability issue. No, money. Lots and lots of money. I actually discussed this. So if you want to know, I did a video on the 273 LA engine. And I tell the story in that video. It's a really good video, if I do say so myself, because it's actually the history of the Chrysler V8 is what that is. I go through everything. The original, their airplane Hemi, then the Hemi engines, and then the Poly, and then the LA in that video. But basically, it's money. The wedge head is way cheaper to make. It's so much easier. That's why everyone went to it. The Hemi was great, but it was expensive for the dual rocker shafts, the bigger head, more material, more complicated machining. Everything was bigger. Everything was more expensive. So they figured out how to save money. They went to the single rocker Poly, and then the wedge head became the way. The other reason was fitment. The reason the LA was built was because the Poly engine didn't fit in the A body, but it was also smaller, lighter, cheaper. So it won. It fit all lines. It was a good truck engine as well once it was sized up. So that was it. The A engine went away. The LA was cheaper, simpler to make, simpler to machine.
Thus being LA Light A.
Light A, yes. The original A series, the 273 block, is very, and I talked about this in that video too, it's very, very similar to the Poly. It is seriously like, if you just look at them, they're very, very similar. It's the same timing cover, same oil pan, same crankshaft, same rods, I believe, except 273s are floaters. Poly's same floater rods and pistons. Obviously, the piston design is different, but the point is they are very, very similar. So, yeah.
And then we were blessed with the Magnum.
What's that?
I said, and then we were blessed with the Magnum.
Indeed, which still has the same oil pan mounting. No, I take that back. It's the same as the 360. Timing cover mounting. Although they're roller lifters, they're at the same angle. There's just so much similar.
And you can still mount a freaking 727 behind it.
Mm-hmm. Same with the modern Hemi.
Yep.
As long as it's a small block one. My sister says, "What's a liter in freedom units?" Alt Praise says, "It's a little more than a quart." Nice. Scandinavian
number 3.
Yeah.
Pay number 3. Raise Dale, praise Dale.
How many bald eagles does that translate to?
Paint a number 3 on the side of it. Raise hail, praise Dale.
Praise Dale, praise Dale. Yeah, praise him. Scandinavian in America says, "Hello, fellow Baltimore fans. How's it going?"
What's happening?
My friend Donny over here, notice how I've mastered which direction you have to point now?
And I look in the direction that you're pointing.
Well, that's terrifying.
Anyways.
Boop. Donnie's a little more well-rounded than I am. He definitely counts as a Mopar fan, but he does all kinds of different stuff. Motorcycles and Chevrolets and yeah.
And I am round.
Nice. I'm not doing a drum roll. We're running out of time. But
Sure,
anyway,
keep going.
Most everyone else here, the crowd is heavy on the Mopar people for sure. Anthony
Absolutely.
W says, "Watching the live show with my daughter and my 67 Coronet with a 505 in the garage. Thanks for the entertainment. Awesome. Thank you very much to you guys for being here. Fantastic." Functional History says, "My little Charger is a little darker already," which is good. So it's future proofed. I did threaten to potentially put a white stripe on it someday. We'll deal with that. We'll deal with that when we get there. I never wanted the mismatch of the black stripe to the white roof. I always wanted black stripe, black roof. But I love the white roof, and it's correct on the car, and it matches the interior. And I thought, yeah, black stripe's fine then. That's fine. Then I saw one in the Dodge catalog, the 68 Charger brochure with a white stripe. It's beautiful. It's so good. And yeah, Functional Histories wants to be Hammond. We're not really getting down on comments at all, are we?
No, hurry up. They're waiting.
Easy for you to say. Donnie's not round. He's robust.
Bro.
Functional Histories is just dominating the comment section. So I apologize, Functional Histories. I've got to get through this. I'm going to skip a few of your 79 comments. Do not take it personally. We're really glad you're here.
Trust me, we are. You're
if you guys haven't seen Functional Histories yet, I've mentioned their channel a couple times, but you can look forward to a collaboration coming in the near future. So you might want to go check them out. There was a charger, not my charger, but there was a small charger recently built over on Functional Histories. It was really cool. I really enjoyed the video. It helps that I was mentioned in it. Whatever, it's fine. But no, it's cool. I like it. It's really cool. It's satisfying and fun to watch these things get built. So yeah,
it really is. Really is.
Yep. Where are you guys located? So if you look at the map of the America, I'm in the top left corner, and Donny is in the bottom right. And Rooster, who was here with us, is in the middle.
Stuck in the middle.
Part. Yeah. 3 different.
I'm in Polk County, Florida.
Florida, not Florida.
County.
Florida.
Polk County, where Grady Judd's at.
Aaron Lutz dropped in. Aaron Lutz, a member of these usually weekly, excuse me. Whenever we do this, I don't remember. And says, hello, Jamie in the group. How's it going, Aaron? Oh, the Rooster Derby Nationals. Nice. Ohio fuel is still way cheaper than Washington fuel. So yeah. John Donny paid $3.09 for regular. Well, that must be nice. $6 Canadian a gallon in Aaron's location. Yep. Functional Histories is also willing to come break some shit. Yeah, Washington has no income tax. 500 plus bridges in Washington are in crap shape. That is absolutely true. Like every single bridge in Grace Harbor is classified as functionally obsolete, and or that's at best. At best, they are functionally obsolete, and some I believe are classified as unsatisfactory. So, yeah.
Wow.
The Kurt Cobain Bridge, which is quite near to me, it has a weight limit because it is functionally obsolete. And they were talking about replacing it, which for practical reasons needs to be done. But for spiritual reasons, the people are quite upset about. And I don't blame them. I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I kind of need that bridge to continue to work.
Yeah.
I kind of need a bridge to still be there. So yeah, but also the Kurt Cobain thing. Just be happy, you'll get to see it.
Another double-edged sword.
Yeah, double-edged sword. That's the thing. Canada, where they pull their oil, pipe it 2,000 miles south to be refined, then pipe it 2,000 miles back. No comment.
Oh,
this was about a half hour ago. And said, hi, guys. Sorry I'm late. Well,
so are we.
Sorry. And Dan did say to Rooster, I know Rooster's getting some much needed dinner, but he's still listening. Dan said to Rooster, good night. Have a great week. Yep. Thanks again to Rooster for being here. Oh, yeah. He'll hang in here for a bit while he makes food. He might learn something. If someone could post a link to Rooster's channel in the comments, that would be great. I can't split off and do that right now. If you look up Rooster's Resto, or I'll post his handle. It's at Rooster426, I believe. I believe it's that. Someone search that and make sure that's right. But the channel is called Rooster's Restos. And if someone else could post a link in the comments, that'd be great. Sean Gallagher is here and says, love the channel, man. You're an amazing person and have a great attitude. Aw, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Good night, man. Hope to see another Revive and Drive. So I guess he already peaced out. Didn't get to see his comment read, but you can always catch it in reruns. But thank you very much, Sean. I really appreciate that. I think I'm kind of cool, but I try to have a great attitude. I mean, there's a lot of sarcasm and a lot of great, awesome. This is just fantastic because that's just how I feel about life. But in general, just keep on keeping on. Just do the thing for better or worse. It is, when things go bad, they go bad. It's fine. That's part of the experience, as I love to say. And just generally in life, my life is awesome. I'm super lucky and spoiled, and it's stupid, and I sometimes feel guilty about it. I really do, because why do I have what I have? I don't know. So I'm just super thankful to be doing what I'm doing. I'm super thankful to have a job that people come in the comments on my videos to say, I'd very much like your job. You're literally living my dream. Well, it was my dream too, and it's amazing. I didn't expect it to work out,
Yeah, I do it. This is great.
Yeah. So it's pretty great. So anyway, thank you very much, Sean. I really appreciate the compliment.
Awesome.
I do bake my personality into all of these videos. You get a really good idea of who I am and what I'm like, for better or for worse. Big block heads. What's the difference between 906 and 915? What's better? 915 are closed chamber, large, decent port. 906 have a great port, but they are all open chamber. And I'm not sure why they did that. But from the 906 forward, they are all open chamber heads. 915, if I'm remembering correctly, that's 67 only. So it's basically the best balanced performance head. Someone wants to know what heads are on your red Charger. They should be... I'm not sure. They should be 906s, but I'm not totally sure. It's a low power 383. I don't know. I guarantee they're an open chamber, and I guarantee it doesn't matter. You know, that is not a 4-barrel engine.
So the answer is working.
Working heads, yes.
It's working heads.
It has a lower compression ratio, which is down to the piston they put in it. I didn't even know that until recently, till reading through the brochure. The 2-barrel 383, which mine is a 2-barrel engine, is actually lower compression. The 4-barrel engine is higher compression, so you had to run premium gas. That would actually be a selling point for buying the 2-barrel engine. It's lower compression. It runs on garbage fuel, and I can attest to that because I run it on garbage fuel with fuel in it, and it doesn't care. It's great. The 4-barrel engine might be a little pickier about that. You'd have to run premium. So it says it right in the brochure. I never knew that. So anyway, little details. But yeah, I'm not sure what the 2-barrel engine has in 68. I don't know if it's still a 906 just with a standard spring or if it's a different casting number. It might have smaller valves. Whatever it is, it's very, very similar. And to me, I don't care. I didn't look when I had the covers off. I probably should have. But yeah. Aaron Lutz says to make a fishing weight out of that carburetor. It's 30 years old, but I believe you. Yeah, they're very... The problem with that design carburetor is the passageways in them clog up. They're hard to get to fix.
They won't idle.
they never idle. You always have to have the choke part way shut. And it's fixable. It's a fixable problem, but it's just so stupid. And I hate them. And I've had such bad times with them. So I just throw them away and get either a 1945 or a BBS. I need to do an updated video on fixing the Holly 1920 because the BBS is becoming hard to find on eBay. Various people have come in the comments and said, I can't find one now. Yeah, there aren't new ones out there anymore. There are people rebuilding them.
Now, let me ask you this. Can you put an 1100 on that?
An 1100. Is that a Motorcraft? Autolite Motorcraft? I think it's the same flange, but the linkage is weird. I want to say on that one, it's turned 180 degrees like it is on a 2-barrel.
It is. Yeah.
So it could be done, but I don't think.
And why?
And why? But why?
Yeah.
You know, but I think you could.
For experiment purposes is what I was
I'd rather do the 1945 or the BBS, something that fits on their factory. Cave Dave does follow me on the Instagrams and screws with me there. It's all in fun. Of course, it's all in good fun. I enjoy being screwed with. I have a good humor, I like to think. To a point. Someone commented today, the second or third comment, the video from today is getting an insane number of views, but almost no comments, and I don't know why. But the second or third comment was, I bet MAE, the channel that we won't mention again because he's back on YouTube like herpes. A different name slightly. But MAE could build you a great small block. And I was like, I bet he could. He seems like a really intelligent and super fun guy. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll text later on that.
More on that later.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Functional histories. I'll put this one up. I think I'm going to do a YouTube drive to get a Crosley for our channel. Yes.
Wow.
So we can get to No Name Nationals next year. That would be amazing. Joel Shooter also has a pair of rust-free doors from an 88 Ram Charger. Don't know what they're worth. We'll trade for something. I don't know what they're worth either. Those are essentially the same 81 to 93 regular pickups. Because of course your Ram Charger has a roof. I'm sure they're 88. Sorry. 88. They all have roofs by then. So they're just the same as the regular pickup doors as far as I know. So they're out there and they're available. But yeah, they're worth something. Someone somewhere needs them for sure. Aaron Lutz says, I love AARs. Oh, they're awesome. They're really cool. There were tons and tons of comments on that one, funny enough, but it just didn't get the same number of views. It's really interesting.
So real quick on an AAR, there's a guy out there named Jenkins.
Okay.
That's actually on YouTube. Jenkins something.
Okay.
But long story short on that, he has taken a real AAR that's just been crushed, mangled, and all that stuff, and he's actually rebuilding it from scrap or fresh metal. Check it out if you get bored sometime.
Yeah. Have you ever seen any of the AMD Restoration Center stuff?
Some, yes.
Okay, so are you familiar with what they do with CUDAs?
That part I do not.
All you need to reconstruct a CUDA out of brand new metal from AMD is part of the cowl and the inner roof structure. They do not make the inner roof structure. It's made out of a few different pieces. For whatever reason, they do not make that, but they make everything else. So what they have a jig where they'll have like part of the cowl and firewall and the inner roof structure all braced up, and maybe a frame rail here if it was still good, maybe a rocker there, an inner rocker if it was still good, but probably not. And they build a whole car out of that. And it's crazy. It's just crazy.
Okay, so it's legit what he's doing then.
Yeah. So he's doing the same basic thing. That's interesting.
Yeah, he
and if many of my viewers are familiar with Birdsong, I don't know if you've seen Birdsong, but he does the same thing, just stitches B-bodies together out of. Usually he's starting with better than part of a roof and a firewall, but yeah. That's dude. If you're in the Rust Belt and you want to fix one of these cars, that is what you do. And even up here, I mean, like the Roadrunner we're doing, it did not look that bad. It had lower quarter rust. We could see little spots in the window, but it didn't look that bad. We got it off, and we found out there was rust in the roof. There was rust in the inner roof structure. The window channel was gone. The inner quarters, of course. Trunk floor, of course. Floor pans were already cut out of it. Wheel tub rust. Like the only piece that's still original on the back of that, the frame rails were good. And the cross piece, which is not reproduced. Part of it is, but part of it isn't. And he had to save it and make new end caps for it.
And this is that 70, that brown one?
No, the red 68 that my brother's doing.
Gotcha. 10-4.
Yeah, the red 68 that he's piecing, 68 Roadrunner that he's piecing back together.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, not Rooster's car. Did I say Rooster? If I said Rooster, I meant my brother.
No. I was thinking of the one at Rocket that you guys unloaded. That.
Oh, yeah. No,
Triple
different.
deuce.
Nope, totally different thing.
Okay.
Blind Bat G34 sent over $10 and said, "Here's a few beans for Rooster's Hemi. Go fuel me. Go fuel me." That's going to be the hot rodder version. Nice.
Go
fuel
yourself.
Comments. We're definitely in overtime now, and we've still got 55 people here. So thank you very much for hanging out late. I really appreciate it. I'm sure Donny does too. And if somehow you don't know Big Wrench Tech, that's Donny's channel. He's always here. He's always here in the comments. He's one of my biggest cheerleaders. He's one of the ones that made the corn dog charger name stick.
My bad.
And he hooked me up with functional histories, which is awesome. So,
yeah,
just
cheerleaders. Go, Jamie.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much. Donny's one of a handful of people that I've met on through the YouTubes and that I talk to all the time, and it's just like, I talk to you more than like any of my real life friends, I think. Like, it's
my bad.
It's cool.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's neat. And it's one of those things like I never went into YouTube expecting to make like real friends. It's weird. But yeah, anyway, if you somehow
sorry about your bad luck.
Yeah, it's all good. Go check him out. Dan Tepper said, I worked with a guy, Sarash. He moved to Sound Area, had an AAR and a TA. Interesting. Was the AAR green? Has it been parked in his shop for 25 years? Don't read it. Functional Histories will come out and do the faux patina, rattle can the crap out of it. How did you think I was going to do it? I'm pretty good with rattle can, actually. I feel like I've proven myself there. Bell James recommended this comment. I'll read it anyway. Air seats in the Power Wagon would do wonders for the ride. By the way, put on Rust-Oleum tractor enamel with a roller. Well, that would help be crappy enough to match. Here's the problem with the air seats and why I don't want to do it. With the bench, it can seat 3, which means my daughter and my wife could ride in it, in theory. although it's also horrible, so they probably wouldn't, but they could. For my next, it's period correct. Nice. For my next crazy build, I am strongly considering air ride seats. Yeah. Jaybird says there's somebody in Yelm selling a V800 dual quad intake for a poly. Ooh, I'm super tempted, but would need the correct carbs and linkage. Where would I find those? There are different options for carbs available. Those smaller sizes we were talking about a bit ago, they'll probably have to be Carters. Hollies won't fit. You should just buy that. Just buy it. Linkage, there are various kits out there to make it happen. Ross says paint the bed flat black. Period correct Dodge pickup? No, it should be a painted bed with black steps and fenders. And I do like flat blacking things. Don't get me wrong there. But this one is supposed to be red and black. And it's the most popular color. It's the one everyone wants. That might be important to me someday. I don't know. But I also want it. So it's got to be the red with the black on bottom.
So were the fenders black and the
Yes.
cab was red?
Cab is red, fenders and steps are black.
Okay.
That's how they are.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down now. Okay.
Yep. Pesky Citizen Chris says poly valve springs, same as big block. I don't know about that. They're the same dimensions as LA essentially. And I know that because I've used LA 318 valve springs in a poly. I once burned off one of my eyebrows due to a broken valve spring in a poly. And I learned on that one, the poly springs are friggin' wimpy. Just the stock LA 318 springs are way stronger than the poly spring. So it's probably a good performance upgrade, I guess. Very cheap. Josh Blondell dropped in a while ago and said, hey, we're only 20 minutes behind now. Misk Junk picked up a 65 Barracuda roller. It had been a 273 car. What motor would you put in it? I was not thinking about the 273 as I was hoping for a little bit more power. 360.
Yeah.
Just do it 360. I had one in my 66 Barracuda. Of course, it was somewhat built. And 410 gear and 4-speed helped the fun. But the 360 goes right in there. No problem. There is a special set of mounts. You either have to modify mounts or Schumacher does have them to mount it right in there. I have a set of those, which I will be using in the next iteration of that car. Previously, it was a horrible cobbled together garbage set. So there you go. Just do a 360. You're going to be happy. I love the 273, but 360 is just better and it fits right in there. Bruno Pareto was who asked what heads were on my red Charger. And again, I'm not totally sure.
Working.
Heads. Doesn't matter. Don't care. It's awesome. I will never touch that engine. As long as it continues to be happy, I am not doing a damn thing to it. It's a great performer. It's a great cruiser. It's the best of every world. I love that 3D3. It's fantastic.
So what you're saying is if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's the idea. Don't try to restore something what doesn't need restored. Plus, it looks all good now. I've even driven it like 1,000 miles since I did that rattle can job on the engine, and it's holding up great.
It's fantastic.
I know. We can't say the same for the 69 Charger. John Donati says, have a great night. Keep on doing what you do. I will do that. Thank you very much.
Good night,
John. Oh, cool. There's a compressor mounting kit. Tom just linked me. You can go buy the brackets for that compressor to mount the RV2 compressor on other things. I need to go. I'll look at that later.
Neat.
Wait, that's not a kit to mount it on a flathead, is it?
Oh, wow.
That might be something I have to do sometime. Thanks, John. And remember, some of us are civil engineering dropouts. I'm not. Canadian four-wheel drive found my channel from the Valari episode. Awesome. I liked that one. Some people are upset because I'm mean to that car, but they don't understand. A couple weeks ago, I just opened the trunk without unlatching it. Trunk's full of barbed wire. It's kind of cool. Anyway.
Bluetooth latch.
Yeah. I really want to do a gambler build with that car with the turbo. That has always been my plan. I don't know if I'll actually see it through to fruition, but that's what I want to do. Anyway, Canadian four-wheel drive owns 4 of those bastard child Mopars. Nice.
Wow.
I've just got the one. More keep popping up that are very affordable, and I have been trying not to do that.
Ross
says, Polk County, my old college roommate teammate.
Cool. Awesome.
Rooster says, well, I got 1 new sub, so thanks, but I need 400 more. Listen, man. I tried. Yeah, I think we all know most of the enthusiasts here.
Patience. Patience. We'll get there.
Keep making videos. Keep sharing them.
Yes.
Matt G says, thoughts on grinding out the holes in LA iron intake to mate to Magnum block and heads. Would doing that promote cracking? Hold on. Grinding out the holes in the intake. Oh, doing it in vertical. We've done it twice. It sucks. You can actually, and Dan Tupper is hip to this. I think he is offering to help you here. He has the tools to do this. You can drill the Magnum heads to mount LA intakes. So that is an option. I wouldn't. I'm doing Magnum heads only because Dan's going to drill them out for me. Because I have 2 dual quad LA intakes. I'm not changing that. So I would have used a different head, but we're going to do the Magnum head. Looking forward to it.
And like you said in the one video too, as like, if that's the case, just go Magnum. If you want to go LA, just go LA.
Go LA. Basically what we're building is a 273 LA Magnum, excuse me, a 273 Magnum head, roller cam. What did you do now?
I'm here. Chill.
Oh my God. We're way into overtime now. This is my second longest live of all time, just about.
See, I'm back.
Functional history still sub Rooster. And he's got to see what he's got over there. Nice. Aaron Lutz says they do have quite a few refineries up there, but not enough for all of the production at peak capacity. Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Rooster says you have what you have because you worked your ass off to get it, son. You have humble pride, and that's something to be damn proud of. I'm very proud of you and glad to be your friend. Thank you, Rooster. I appreciate that. I know that to be true. And yeah, it's absolutely true. I worked for what I have, and I'm very proud of that. And I have help, in Mrs. Jamie, which is great. I've been lucky. I've made some good choices, one good real estate decision, and I bought one good, cheap fiberglass Cobra replica once and got a charger out of that. So I've made some good moves, and I try to move through this world in the way that I think is right, and it's worked out okay so far. So, just sometimes I sit back and go, man, how is this my life?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's awesome, and I'm not going to complain. You keep looking over at me. You're way better practiced at it than me.
My bad. Okay. Whoops.
Nice. That's funny. Scandinavian in America says, I use a BBD with an aluminum single barrel and an adapter on my slant. Interesting. I've seen those adapters. I've never used one, but yeah, that's a way to go. Rooster is also grateful for Donny and Amy as close friends too. And
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very happy to be there. Yeah. Yes, that.
Matt G.
Dan is hip to this, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing it done. Timothy Russell dropped out. Of course, we're very late in the after hours at this point. So thanks for hanging out this late, everybody. Really appreciate it. Trying to get to the end, and we're so close. Scott Prater just said, "Wow,
free van. Never mind.
4 more free van. Yeah, Schumacher makes the mounts. Yep, that's what I was saying. I actually have a set. I got them from Mitchell with the Barracuda, which is awesome. I needed that. I've never had the that. So I'm looking forward to that. Thanks a lot, but you paid the wrong guy. I'll fax you $10 somehow. Yes. No, I think you'll want to take them off. You'll want to take them off and take them to the machine shop for sure. And remember, Donny wears a kilt, not a skirt. So what kind of cheerleader is that? There's no until you're monetized, there's no way for your channel to take money. There's just no way to do it. So he'll figure out how to take $10 out of my ass, I'm sure. Joel Shooter says, man, it's great living in the Southwest desert. You can get a rust-free builder as well. Just make the road trip. Glad to help if I can. And I want to do a lot more to that. Oh, and good night, Joel. Thanks for being here. Yeah, obviously we're very, very late. I definitely want to do more of that kind of thing, and if the right car, the right deal, and if we have resources around where it's at, where I can kind of have some stops on the way and some backup plans and that kind of stuff. Because a lot of this stuff, we're talking about thousands and thousands of miles from my door. Yeah. Which, as you guys have seen, even with a good car, doesn't necessarily go flawlessly. So, right, man? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I did once offer to buy a Power Wagon in Florida and drive it home. It didn't work out. Anyway, wow, Wow, we're to the end almost. Ivy Thunder said, Rooster, sorry, not a mod. Okay, they'll have to copy and paste. Yeah. Only mods can post links. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Hold on. Okay. If you're still here hanging out and you want to do this, let me go find Roosters. He's in my search 3 different times. What? Why? It's not even coming up. Okay, so you definitely need a link then. Resto. Come on, really? Okay, let me try this. Fine.
Are you there yet?
Oh no, he's not Rooster 426 anymore. It's his hand. It used to be. Oh, he's got 106 subscribers now, so I don't want to hear any complaining.
Woo! Dude, you were like 86 a minute ago, so good on you.
Yeah. Quit your. Okay, hold on. Let me. So it's actually at Rooster's Restos, but let me see if I can get a link. How do I get a link? I don't know. Share. Here we go. Share channel. Copy link. Okay, I am dropping it in the comments. Hopefully it works as a link. If it doesn't, I don't want to hear any complaining.
Do the thing.
There's the thing. But it's, as you can see, it's at roosters_restos. So you can always go to youtube.com/@roosters_restos. Yeah.
What do you say? And keep that in mind, seeing how we're all here, remember to hit the likes because it does the thing with the daily dough.
That thing. You know what it is. And Stacey O. Jason is here lurking apparently and said, if it ain't broke, don't break it. Oops.
Okay.
Night Bell James, thanks for being here as usual. I think I have one present from Bell James in here. The other one's out in the shop already. Functional History says, it became your life because you don't think you're better than anyone else, unlike one YouTuber we all know. Wait, do you have a... All right, yeah. We'll leave it at that. You can't have a troll. You're not building actual cars. Yours are just little. Whatever.
But they're awesome. I still love them.
I know.
They're great.
I'm serious. I wasn't kidding. It's not,
Oh, I know.
It's great that I'm going to be involved. Functional Histories just keeps adding comments to screw with me, so I have to read. I wasn't just blowing smoke up his ass. The Jezebel video is awesome. It's cool. It's cool seeing the process, especially the CAD work, the 3D modeling. Like, dude,
yeah,
that is way beyond me.
The only critique I would have is right at the end of some of his videos, the card flashes so quick that I'm like, what the hell did it just say?
What was that? I know. So much work goes into that.
It's gone.
I hadn't noticed that, but it's part of the whole thing he does is cards for him, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it.
Dan says something about I cannot ever do quartet stuff. The nun said I sing like Lemmy. Well, that's okay. Rooster was at 93 this morning, so that means you're up 13. That's a lot more than 1.
Oh, Libby. Motorhead.
Thanks for being here, Rich. As mentioned, we're super late. We'll put this up. Aaron, let's subscribe. Cheers, guts and glory. Good night, all. Rooster trolls me every day. Encouraging people to pause it for the algorithm. Sometimes I intentionally leave details out of videos.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Have you noticed that?
Never thought of that.
Sometimes I intentionally leave things out of videos so people have to comment and mention them. Like in the 273 video, which might be part of why it did so well.
Clever.
I don't know. I'm just saying. What do I play to play us out?
If you like to gamble, I tell you where you land. I don't know.
Hold on. I need this. I need less strings for that.
Yeah.
I think I might have already done this in a different one once. The world's largest amplifier is warming up.
Yay, dude. Yep. Well, yeah, you asked for Motorhead.
Is that where it goes? All right, that's all I got.
The ace of spades. The ace of spades.
I don't do a Lemmy at all. Rooster said dust in the wind. I ain't doing that.
Lemmy's easy. Just have a sinus infection and a sore throat and a fifth of whiskey, and you're fine.
I can do it if I'm standing up. I gotta use the gut.
Yeah. Floyd, man.
I can count to 7.
But my guitar amp goes to 11.
It does. Money, get away.
Oh, I thought it was Get Back.
Get a good job with full pay. You're okay. Money, get back. I'm all right, Jack. Keep your hands off my stack. But if you ask for it, wait, hold on, that's not right.
Car Caviar, 4 stars.
No, I don't remember that part. That's too hard.
4-star Daydream.
Traveling section, I think I need a Learjet.
You combine both of them together.
All right. I think that'll do it.
New Car Caviar, 4-star Daydream. Think I'll buy me a football team.
Yeah. I crossed the two. Never crossed the stream. I don't know any Everclear either. I think we discussed it before. Drift and die. Yeah, I can't wait either. I need to record some stuff to send you. We're not doing that. All right. I think that's about it. Peaches and Regalia. Yeah, I can't do that one. I'm not that talented. Oh, wait. Hold on. Hey, guys. I have a 95 Dodge Ram Charger. Ooh, cannot find that much info about it. That is because they don't exist, except no, the U.S. did not make them in that body style at all. They're rare. They're super cool. And good luck finding any information on it. That's here in America. We don't speak that. Says Mexico and Canada continue making them 94 through 96. Other than that, I do not know much about that.
Really?
No, that's all I know. I think
I didn't know anything about it.
I believe they use a Grand Caravan back hatch. And I don't know a whole lot about them either. But yeah, they existed, not in America. So I've never seen one. I don't think I ever will.
I have to look that up.
Good wobble, brother. Thank you. Nice. Thanks. Oh, have a 95, but 5.9 Magnum 2-wheel drive. Nice. That's cool.
Ooh.
That's cool. I'd love to have one, but yeah, they just don't. They don't exist around here. Good night, fellas. Be safe. Much love. Take care. False advertisement drops this Friday. Nice. So go check out Histories. And thanks for being here this late. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think it's time for dinner. I'm starving to death. So, I'll catch you guys all later. We'll see this guy soon, I'm sure. And thanks again to Rooster for dropping in. Oh, Putz the Mouse says, hey guys, tuning in late. I'll rewind at the beginning. Have a good night. Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened. You know, you're not going to have any idea what's going on.
Items. Lots of items.
So many items. Thanks for dropping in. All right. Take her easy. And what a wild, fun time this has been. Pizza, no chicken. But that was yesterday and the day before that. I will see you next Sunday and in the comment section. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.